Howdy do, Fisheroos. My name is Angie, and welcome to more of our life. We are on the Baxter epilogue. We are almost done with this game. It's been so long. It's been so long, and we are still playing this game. So, welcome back to Monday Book Club. For those that are new here, on Mondays we read visual novels. Everyone is welcome to put in chat of what they want me to do, how you want me to play. It's usually first come, first serve, that kind of thing. It's just a fun thing that we have. We use these more as an excuse to do just talking streams, along with a little bit of gameplay in the background. It seems a lot of times chat just mostly uses it as a way to distract me from actually reading the story. All right, welcome in everyone, welcome in. A couple of announcements to say today. We made it to 100 we're way past that. We made it to 300 subscribers. So, I, of course, am going to do a special. Congrats, guys! Thank you guys so much for getting me there. But I am going to do a special. You guys, I said it in the thing back there, whatever that was called. I'm a little scatterbrained today, if you couldn't tell. And she can't count. What's new? What's new? Has there ever been a moment where I can actually count? But I'm gonna do a special, as promised. I like to celebrate milestones, so of course we are going to do a special. I have not prepared anything because I'll admit I wasn't expecting to hit. I was not expecting to hit 300 so soon. So, I am going to do a special, however, I want all of your help. We're gonna plan it together. And what I mean by that is that will you sing for us? I don't know, maybe. We'll see what people want. Starting tomorrow or tonight, I'm still deciding on a few things, but at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, I will be putting up a poll in the community page. The poll will be of different sorts of streams you guys would be interested in seeing me doing. Please vote. You can also suggest things in the comments. I am more than willing to take suggestions as well and add them to the poll. So, if you guys will be on the lookout for that, get ready and vote for the thing that you want to see me do the most. And that's what we're gonna do. The 300 subscriber special stream will either be next week or the week after. It will just depend. I am getting ready for a trip coming up. I'm going to a convention, for those that don't know. That will be in May, but that's coming up real soon. So I'm preparing for that, but I hopefully will want to get this stream done before I leave so I can leave you guys off with something good. On that note, there are 2 other things I am planning on doing in addition to the stream. Yes, there are 3 major subscriber specials that I want to do for 300 subscriptions. The 2 other things are kind of big, and I'm hoping to get them done in time. They are some very requested things, so hopefully I will be able to get them out in time for you guys. But keep on the lookout for that. Hopefully I can get them all out for you guys. With that being said, that is all of the announcements that I have had, so we will go ahead and get started on today's book club stream. So last time we left off, Baxter dumped us. He dumped our ass. Baxter dumped us. Not a chance to get back with him, and we're meeting him again. And this game is allowing me to be the toxic person I've always wanted to be. For the first time, this game is allowing me to be toxic and petty. And we have been taking every single option to be toxic and petty. So, yeah, currently the mods aren't here yet, so you guys won't get in trouble for anything, but I'm watching you, alright? My eyes are peeled. I'm watching you. Let's see here. I can yap about Lobotomy Corporation. Careful, careful. Please follow my rules a little bit. You know, I'm not too strict on my rules. I do bend them sometimes, and sometimes I tell the mods to bend them as well. But but just keep in mind, that's all I ask. Alright. With that said, Momster has been spamming choice one, please choose one. Okay, Momster, I'll choose one. Alright, I'll choose it. Don't worry. Most of what I... Oh, scared, Angie? Was I scared for a second? Did I have the scared look on my face? I don't know. Sometimes I press these buttons and I'm just like, wait a second, what did I press? Alright. I will choose choice 1, fine. Am I allowed to speak to you, or is that forbidden? You murmured. It depends on what you would like to discuss. Oh boy. We're starting off great, aren't we? This is gonna go well. I can already tell this is gonna go so well.
I apologize.
I can endeavor to help with any part of the planning, but unfortunately my base of knowledge is limited to specific areas. In other words, don't talk about what we used to have, huh, Baxter? Yeah, you don't want to talk about that? Oh, is that the case? We're gonna make this so awkward. I love not getting told stream is starting by YouTube. Yeah, YouTube has not been great about that recently. I've noticed that a lot of people that are subscribed to me have been going like, wait, hold on, you're streaming? YouTube never notified me? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's YouTube. Yeah, I try to follow my schedule pretty well. So like I'll always stream at 3 o'clock CST if I have that on. But yeah, YouTube sucks at notifying you guys. They've been getting worse and worse at that. Also, Angie, I'm gonna post the updated version of the more realistic Oliver, cause you're a sea monster, so why not have a sea monster pet cat? Yeah! Sea monster Oliver! That'd be cool. He'd be even more terrifying. Sea monster catfish. Yeah, sea monster catfish. Anyway, I'm still revolting. What are you revolting? What have I done that would possibly make you want to revolt against me? Look at me. Look at me. I'm perfect. I can't imagine why you would want to revolt against this sheer perfection. I mean, like, look, I'm round. Look at me, I'm round. See? I'm perfect. Not paying? Okay, I'll post a cat picture tonight if that'll make you happy. Will that make you happy? If I post a cat picture tonight? I'm chilling in your attic. When did I get an attic? But if Oliver becomes a catfish, then he's no longer a cat, and thus no longer strong against you. No, he's not a catfish like the catfish you know. He's a cat, you know, little hyphen there, fish. So, like, he's half cat, half fish. You see my vision here? Not like a catfish, but a cat fish. Do you see what I'm saying? If you squint, you can see it more. All right, just keep squinting. You'll eventually start to see it. All right. What is Baxter saying? Well, that was a pleasant way to outright reject talking about anything actually important. I love it. I love the pettiness. I love the pettiness. All right. I just can't stand you. Oh, I think I know the option choice chat would want to pick. Hey, when do normal people order a wedding? When do people normally order a wedding cake? Well, if you're this couple, it's straight up never. This couple, I don't think, knows how at all to plan a wedding. They were straight up last time just going like, we have to order the cake. What do you mean? What is that supposed to mean? Hello, what is this? Totally not Baxter in top right? Oh, yeah, no, totally not Baxter at all. How do you do, not Baxter? Will that make Chad happy? Saying not Baxter? Three's been voted on enough times. All right, I just can't stand you. His grip tightened around the wheel.
Understandable.
I understand. Oh, don't act pathetic. Is that what we're gonna be? Is he gonna be, like, super... Did he never get over us? I think that was the poll we had last time, wasn't it? Who voted yes and who voted no for that? Hold on, can I add that poll again? I think we do need some interaction here, right? So I'm gonna add that poll. You know the drill, guys. Tell me what you put, okay? 1 for yes, 2 for no. But let me write this out. Is Baxter... No, that's not how I want to write that. Did Baxter never get over us? I guess rain. Because we're Rain. We're Rain Sky in this, not us. It's Rain. Alright, did Baxter never get over Rain? Remember, guys, 1 for yes, 2 for no, and the people that vote wrong get executed. I don't make the rules. Well, I did, but you can't blame me. Anyways, go ahead and vote. Tell me your results. Baxter, I'm not doing this poll. Why are you saying Baxter uncensored? That's very offensive. I'm too strong for you guys. It doesn't affect me like it does you. Do you think I'm new to bad anime pretty boys? Okay, come on, please. I've lived in this cringe for far longer than you know. I'm not affected by this anymore. This can't hurt me. I can get upset, but it can't hurt me. Let's see. I want him to have gotten over us to make it even more pathetic. I want Baxter to be even more toxic than us. I want him to, like, never get over us. I hope that's an option. I'm revolting, made this profile pic extra for that. I can't see the profile pic. Is that Miku? Is that Miku in there? If I squint, I think I can see Miku. I meant Angie, I'm not doing this poll. Not bootleg Yasad, I'm not doing this poll. Alright, well, we have some no's, we have some yeses. Hey, guys. 1 in the chat if you voted yes, 2 in the chat if you voted no. I want to see you so I can execute you if you get it wrong. Alright, let's go. The world passed in a blur as you stared blankly out the window. You didn't want to be there. You didn't want this to be happening. Those thoughts and other similar feelings swirled in your head on a loop. Oh, we're down bad, guys. This is bad. This is what happens when we chose that we're still in love with this guy, huh? It was a miserable purgatory of a drive. That is quite the sentence. It's a miserable purgatory of a drive. I need to start using that more often. You only managed to pull yourself together when Baxter pulled into a parking spot. Suddenly, you were in the heart of Prism Vista City. You'd arrived. A pastel pink sign plastered across the top of one of the buildings read, Zake Bakery, in big, bold letters. A smaller cursive underneath said Cake Designs by Xavier. Baxter approached without wasting a second. A tinkling bell jingled as Baxter opened the door. He held it out for you. Being in a rush didn't mean being impolite, apparently. Are you guys already choosing option choices when there's not an option choice? It's a what plus Hatsune Monica? Oh, we're mixing so many fandoms together. Hatsune Monica plus something I don't know. You're really slacking off on adding Oliver. Are you mad at Oliver? Did people request an Oliver? I haven't seen anyone request an Oliver so far. I'm sorry. Who's requested an Oliver? Let me see. I'm just looking at the 1, 0, 1, 2, none of the above. Like, you guys really pressing option choices before an option choice appears? Angie, I may have taken inspiration from lionfish, terrifying creatures. Miserable purgatory watching you be blind, fish. I mean, when am I not blind? When am I not blind? Are you kidding me? You guys signed up to watch a blind fish play streams. I don't know what to tell you guys. At this point, it becomes your fault. We did request Oliver's? When did that happen? Huh. Playback in the chat for that. Editing Angie when she edits all of this is gonna have so much fun. Did I mention I'm gonna edit all of these into a long compilation video? Because I'm so looking forward to that. Okay, did you see my levers on my alt account? I did not. Can you send them to me again? Did you tag me? Hold on, if you tagged me, I have an easier way to see it. I don't get notified when people tag me on YouTube, though, so that's my fault if I missed it. I tagged you? Cool. Let me check real fast. Yeah, it's easier for me to see stuff if you tag me. However, YouTube does not notify me, so I apologize. Alright, just let me go down here. Let me see. There we are. Oh, it's like a taco Oliver. Tacover. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, I love him. Thank you. Oh, that's adorable. Alright, she's sick in the head for that? Me? What am I sick for? I get called sick for a lot of things. You told us to tell you how we voted in the poll. How quickly you forgot. Oh, right. I don't remember saying a single thing. You guys are wrong. Obviously, I'm the one that's right. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know a thing. Shadow Milk Angie is literally a sea monster. What did you expect? That's right, I can't count. There's no part of me that can do mouth or read numbers. I don't perceive numbers at all. Angie doesn't know history. That's going in the revolution. I don't know our history, apparently. I'll say something and forget it in 3 seconds. I don't even remember any of your names. Who are all of you? Okay. Okay, for those that have requested an Oliver and I didn't see it, go ahead and retype your requests because they're already off of my screen and I can't see them anymore. I'll try to add them as I see them. I'm sorry if I miss you. I'll try to get you again. So you can go ahead and request again if I missed any. Are you gonna put Angie in the guillotine? What is this? I'm not French. You can't put me in a guillotine. I want 2 Olivers, 1 for each of your eyes. You can only request 1. But I'll give myself an Oliver eye patch for you. Just let me get an Oliver. Hold on. That's not Oliver. That's not Oliver. This is an Oliver. It's a big Oliver. I want 1 over the other eye. Okay, I'll allow that. Why isn't it letting me select this Oliver? There we go. Now let me shrink him down. Arrgh, I'm a pirate. I'm a pirate with a cat. Don't ask questions. It makes sense. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. All right, let me get that other Oliver for you guys. No, that's Greeniver. Yeah, that's an Oliver. All right, I'll make him into so I can have cat sunglasses for you guys. Because this is what you want from me. Okay, why can't I select this Oliver? Why? There we go. I selected. All right. There, I'm blind. I'm blind, and there's a cat over my eyes. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Can you make him upside down and pink? Sure. Yeah, no, I can do that. Hold on. Let me select your Oliver again. And upside down? Yeah, I can do that. Alright, let's go upside down, covering my eye still because that was requested. And let's change the color on this. Alright, let's see. Go over here. Add a little thing. Add a little thing. Do some of this. Well, this is gonna be interesting. Which one does this do? That makes him brighter. That makes him way brighter. Contrast. Which one of these? I messed with this a lot last time to make him green, and now I don't remember what I did. Can you play Hollow today? Probably not today. I will play Hollow again very soon. But yeah, today is going to be the book club stream. I do them every Monday. And then, when am I gonna do Hollow Knight? That's a good question. I do want to do it soon. Because I really like playing Hollow Knight. And I've been itching to play it very soon. Let me think about that. I have to, because I'm going on a trip very soon, I have to like really think about when I'm planning out these games. All right, let me see here. No, that makes dark colors appear. That changes a few things. Can I get my custom Oliver? You can, in fact. Let me just figure out how to do this. Okay, this is brightness. Well, that made him red-ish. Nah, I don't know how to do this. I made him green last time. How the heck did I do it? I know I pressed all this. Hold on, custom color. Ah, perfect! Okay, I figured it out. Pink. We want pink. Alright. Let's set this parameter. And can we do it? Why isn't it doing it? Why can't I do it this time? No, I can only make him, like, bright. What the heck? How did I make him green last time? I did it with such ease last time. How am I not doing it this time? I don't know what I did last time. Ah, God, what did I do? I don't know. I don't know what I did. Alright, maybe I should just restart this. I should just restart this and try something else. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. Because this is turning into a failure. This Oliver failed. Couldn't make him pink. Alright, we're gonna change that. This Oliver's still bright. Alright, I'm gonna close out of that. We're gonna try again. Though if I can't get this after a number of times, we're gonna give up on this. I threw a Cove at fish, maybe it'll help her remember. What do you mean maybe it will help me remember? Oh. Alright, let's see here. I think this is the thing I... Oh? Oh no, maybe I pressed the wrong thing. Oh, I did. I'm stupid. Okay, I know what I did. Alright, let me try this again. So yeah, that still does that. That does that. That does that. But... yeah, okay. It was hue shift. I was pressing the wrong thing. Okay. Let me just... How pink do we want him? Like, super pink, or... Alright. That's good. Make sure his lines stand out. He looks like a Cheshire cat! I kind of like that. That's like... purplish. No, we don't want him to be invisible. That's like neon. Ooh, how much do we want to do this? All right, there's like a baby pink right there, or we can do like a dark pink, almost purple. What are we thinking? Good luck on dealing with Baxter. Thank you! I'm watching JoJo once again. I think you can tell why I'd rather see JoJo other than Baxter. I mean, I will never be upset with you watching JoJo. JoJo is so good. I love watching JoJo. Alright. But currently we're doing Oliver. We're like making different Olivers. I'd say like this is more of a pink. Like this is probably more pinkish. It's still like a little bit purple, but I'm having trouble actually setting... I'm having a little bit of trouble actually setting a super pink color. So that might be what we just have to go with. Is this fine for you? I got Hollow 112% yesterday. Nice! Nice. I'm hoping to do that soon. Only thing I remember from part 2 JoJo was the freaky monkey on the ship. That was part 3, actually. Actually? But yeah, that's part 3. That's Stardust Crusaders. Fish! Clown! Welcome in! Welcome in! Good enough? Cool, cool. Alright, this is our pink Oliver right here. Our pink upside down Oliver. Someone else also requested that their Oliver be on screen. I don't remember where I put your Oliver. He's here. He's here with us. He's in the room with us. Hold on, is this it? Nope, that's Clowns. Nope, that's Baxter. This is it, right? This one's your Oliver, correct? 3 is Stardust Crusader, that's 2, isn't it? Nope, 3 is Stardust Crusader, 2 is Battle Tendency. We have Phantom Blood, Battle Tendency, Stardust Crusader, Diamond is Unbreakable, Golden Wind, and then Stone Ocean, Steel Ball Run. I am having trouble remembering part 8's name. Angie, wrong lobotomy, Oliver? What are you talking about? Netflix is gaslighting me. Netflix combined Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency, which is why it shows it as Season 2 instead of Season 3. That's because technically Battle Tendency and Phantom Blood were combined to make one season, even though it's 2 separate parts. Doesn't remember part 8, fake JoJo fan. I just can't remember the name, okay? I remember part 8. Oh. Angie, I have a post where it's a different lobotomy Oliver. Yeah, but this is Monica's lobotomy Oliver. You have a different one. I love seeing the stream early and clicking notify me and still did not notify me. Yep, YouTube does that. Someone else also came in going just like, I can't believe YouTube didn't notify me of this. It's, unfortunately common. Anyways, let's see here. You joined him. The design of the sign accurately alluded to what was to come. The whole bakery was decked out in soft pinks and creams. Oh god, we're here again, aren't we? We were here during, Derek's epilogue. I watched as you did Path of Pain. Oh dear god, the Path of Pain videos. It sure was painful. I enjoyed it though, it was a lot of fun. Those were a lot of fun. I personally gave up on having YouTube notify me and resort to occasionally looking at the clock. It seems that's what you guys are gonna have to do if you want to catch these stream lives. YouTube's not gonna say shit. It never does for me whenever I want to catch my whole live streams. Alright. Each dessert in the neat little rows were delightfully delicate. If the taste matched the presentation, they must be incredible. Ooh, I wonder if they have strawberry cake. Strawberry cake is my favorite. Warm air perfumed with spices like cinnamon and nutmeg surrounded you completely. What a tonal shift. The sound of the bell summoned someone from the back. Clad in a simple apron with far from basic face makeup and a stylish updo, the employee smiled brightly. Angie, can I please have my lobotomy Oliver? Did I ever add your lobotomy Oliver to the stream? Quick question. I'm only asking because that will speed a few things up. If I did, I just don't remember. If I didn't, I can add it. No, you added Monica's, not mine. Okay, cool. And your lobotomy Oliver is on your channel, right? I can go to it right now. I'll be back soon. Okay, have a nice one. Hello, how are you today? By the way, here for my How to Train Your Dragon at you. Nice, nice. Alright. Let's see here. That's your sea monster, Oliver. There's Fishgy being cute. Let's see here. Can you... Alright, I have a quick question. If possible, just because it'll take me some time to try and do it on this stream. Could you export one of the Oliver pictures and put it in so I don't have your art program in the background? That'll just make it a little easier so everyone can see it clearly. Could you imagine Baxter writing his Light Fury? It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Honestly, all of them writing their writing dragons. I'd like to see every character write a dragon. I think that we should see it. I see we're needing reinforcements to make sure the audience is engaged. No, it's not exactly reinforcements per se. It's more of just the audience wants stuff and I just do it. Because it's funny. That's the thing with all of these streams. If it's funny, I'll do it. I can't. I'm on iPad. It doesn't let me. Ah. That's a shame. No, I get it. That sucks. I see we're on day 100 of our life. No, it's day 32. It's day 32. There's a difference. Might as well be like 100 days of our life, though. You should have made this Skyrim Monday. It's Book Club Monday, Harley. Book Club Monday. Don't try to ruin Book Club. Okay? We're here for Book Club. I hope you did your assigned reading. 100 incoming. Might as well be. I am Book Club. You are Book Club? You're the whole Book Club. Uh-huh. Alright. I'm gonna read. We already read this, so I'm not gonna read that, but I'm gonna read this. At the risk of being presumptuous, you'd guess that was Xavier. Their whole look was made to fit the overall aesthetic. Even the flowers in their flowing hair looked as if they were plucked right off of a wedding cake.
Always a pleasure.
What is... I was not expecting that voice. Did they sound like that last time? Did I just not hear it? Their voice, like, it's not bad. It just surprised me. I don't remember them sounding like that. We're all just their alt accounts, every single one of you. It'll take 100 days to get this edited down to a compilation video. It will, in fact. Oh boy, I have a plan for the compilation video to make it much, much shorter so it's not like so it won't take me like 500 years to finish it. However, it's gonna take so long to edit all of this down. God, I am not looking forward to it. There's a voice for everyone. Have you not noticed that yet? Alright. Let's see about this. Baxter, welcome. Always a pleasure. Is this a new client? Not quite, but I do have a job for you. This is Rain, a friend of my latest couple. She is here to assist with the preparation of the event. Is that what I am to you, Baxter? Is that all I am? Just a friend? Just a friend of your clients? That's it? We had no prior knowledge of each other whatsoever? Uh-huh. Baxter? If the game is gonna let me be petty, I'm gonna take it. Have you set Baxter on fire yet? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna certainly try to set him on fire. You know me at all? Of course we're gonna try to set him on fire. We're gonna get the R Life ending before this finished. Oh man, I'm being fairly optimistic that maybe we can go ahead and finish the Baxter DLC in this episode. However, if I know anything about this game, we're gonna pad a bit. And I swear, if this game decides that they're gonna take us through the entirety of the DLC again, like for instance, back to the bowling alley or watching another play, I might riot! I might burn something down myself! Not that I'm not having fun with this game, I enjoy it actually quite a bit, and I certainly love watching the tortured faces of all the chatters. But oh my god! They've certainly padded some things, haven't they? Oh, let's see. Angie, can you put Punishment Bird on... Punishment Bird? on my head. Huh, that's an interesting one. I could, actually. I could. I actually have a PNG of Punishment Bird. So, actually, I could do that. I'm not gonna get, like, copyrighted by, by, the developers, right? I don't think that'll be... I don't think that's a thing, but, like... Why do you have that PNG? Thumbnails. I have it for thumbnails. Alright, let's see here. No, Project Moon doesn't do that kind of stuff. I didn't think so. I mean, I've used the PNGs so many times before for thumbnails, so... It would be quite the thing if they just decided, like, hey, this isn't one of our games, and then just, like, struck me down. I don't think they'd do that. They're pretty cool. They wouldn't do that to me. Right? Alright, let's see about this. Why do I have so many PNG of random anime people? Why do I have all of this? I know I did a few tier lists, but this seems a little bit excessive. Nope, that's a spoiler for things to come. That's not right, that's not right. When was the last time I saved this? How long have I been playing these games? Oh my god. Okay. The start of my... Alright. That's Army in Black. That's Magical Girls. Okay, we have a PT reference. A couple of logos. Poltergeist. Hold on, I'm going through all of my PNGs. You know exactly why you have so many anime PNGs, Angie. No, okay, so I only have them for practical reasons, okay? There's my Snom PNG, Sprigatito PNG, Yasad PNG. There's a couple of Oliver photos, a couple thousand Baxter photos. Oh my god, so many anime faces staring at me. So many waifus and husbandos. Oh my god. How many of you are there? I didn't think the list we did was that long. Okay. Alright. We're slowing down. Alright, there's like 50 more Baxter photos in here. I've really tried to torture you guys with Baxter, huh? There's paper. There's Space's drawings. There we are! I found him! There he is! Alright, let's open him. Oh, he's big. He's a big boy. We'll shrink him down. We'll shrink him down. Whoop. He'll be on my shoulder. There he is! There he is! Perfect! Alright, let's see here. Can you put a Snom just above the name tag? Just add Snom. You're cosplaying Prussia? Why did you bring Hitalia into this? Jesus! What do you think this is? Bringing Hitalia into this. I can't believe you. Alright, someone requested a Snom. Who am I to say no to Snom? Snom is only one of the best Pokemon to ever exist. I can't say no to that. I mean, like, he's pure perfection. It's Snom. I have to find Snom again. He's, like, somewhere way down here. Snom? Where are you? There's Poltergeist. The heck did Snom go? There's a Snivy. Snom! Found him, found him. Alright. Snom. Make him small, make him tiny. There. We have Snom. Harley woke up and chose violence? Yeah, apparently. I know you. You knew me from like 10 years ago. God! What current part of me still loves Hetalia! Alright. So, here we are. Back at it. We have our snom added, we have Oliver's over my eyes, and we have a punishment bird. Anything else? Please move my Oliver to the quit button. Sure thing. Let me just click on him. There we go. You guys can't leave now. You're stuck in my basement. There's no getting out. You all are here with me forever. I'm looking crazy at you guys, but you guys can't actually see it because there's some Olivers over my eyes, so you'll just have to make up the expression yourself. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Let's keep reading. She's here to assist with the preparation of the event. The lovebirds are busy with tasks of equal importance, you see. It was almost astounding how much more naturally he spoke when it was to anyone other than you. Oh, is that really how we're doing this? Okay, alright, sure. Alright, of course. Though this being about his work also might have helped, Baxter was back in his element. Rain, this is Xavier. They are the head baker and cake artist of this fine establishment. Thanks for coming in. It's good to meet you. Xavier's eyes sparkled. At first glance, the color seemed a pale brown, but the more you looked, the more you caught shades of purple. I did not see brown at all. Huh. Nope, I still can't see brown at all in that. Hold on, you'd seen those eyes before. Have we? Is this another kind of like, oh no, we actually know them kind of thing? I mean, we did in Derek's route. Does this count as Derek's route? Like, alright, do we care? Chat, do we care? Question, who's Rain? Rain is our character. We created Rain in episode 1, and she's the one that's romancing these guys. Alright, chat, do we care? 1 in the chat if we care, 2 in the chat if we don't care. Do we care about Xavier? 2? Alright, we have a split opinion here. 2, okay, it's no longer, okay, it's back to being split. You guys aren't helping me. You see, this is split. Alright? We are incapable of not caring about everything. You see, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me. Harley, you just adding another 2 doesn't make it not split still. That still makes it split. You don't count as 2, you count as 1. Okay, well, flip a coin? I don't have a coin. Hold on. Do I have anything that I can flip? Damn it. Alright, well, you're being banned, Harley. Bye, it was nice knowing you. Which leaves 1 in the lead. Just the why. I don't know, seemed funny at the time. You ever just ban people because it seems funny? Alright, we have a couple of 2s. A couple more 2s, so we don't care, is what I've gotten from this. Josh, you can have my voting lights. Now I leave for real. Aw, bye! It was nice to see you! Alright, 2 it is. That was neat. Hi. So, what exactly can I do for you? Or your clients, rather? To be honest, I'm in a pinch. Unusual to not have even one person getting married come to commission their wedding cake. These are unusual circumstances. We could say that. Baxter confessed that much with his eyes closed when he had enough shamelessness to look Xavier directly in the face. The inherent charm of Baxter's grin had been pushed to its absolute limit. He's really holding himself together with this whole, like, these people don't know how to plan a wedding whatsoever, huh? Why is there a snom? Why isn't there a snom? Snom is perfect for every occasion. Don't you have your celebratory snom with you? This is like coming in mid-convo and not understanding what's going on. Our friends are getting married, but they can't plan a freaking wedding to save their lives and didn't know they needed to order a wedding cake way in advance. And now we have 1 week before their wedding. And so our ex, Baxter, is actually the wedding planner that they hired, but they didn't know that he was our ex. And we're really petty about it. That's what's going on. Have you caught up? So over the summer 5 years ago, we dated this guy. And he broke up with us. It was really sad. We never got over it. And in fact, we fell even more in love with him. When he left us, we were even more in love. So it's bad. It's like really bad. And so now, 5 years later, we see him again. And he's the wedding planner they hired. And we have to help him plan our friend's wedding. So we're forced together with him to plan our friend's wedding because he's the hired wedding planner. And they can't plan a wedding to save their lives. And they waited till a week before their wedding to hire the wedding planner. Which is a total nightmare the more I think about it. Why not let bootleg Yasad go? Because we're toxic like that or something. I hope I caught you up to speed. I hope this helps. I hope this was a good, informative info dump on what happened. Alright.
Is that fun?
Could you possibly make it a 3-tier cake that is simple yet still elegant and modern in about 3 days? Oh my god. Oh my god, that sounds horrible! That sounds horrible! What do you mean? Have to go back and watch all the Baxter videos. Oh dear god, what are you sentencing her to? Baxter looks like the type of person to speak. Just speak. Just speak. Baxter looks like he'd speak. Yeah, I suppose he'd speak. Xavier's perfectly painted lips popped open. Not a word came out of them, but it wasn't as if they were given a chance to object. There was more. I don't envy this person right now. I feel so bad for this baker. And that schedule is including today. The wedding is Saturday afternoon. Baxter rolled his wrist, smoothly recounting each of the points set during the initial planning meeting. If he stated it as a predetermined fact, surely that meant it'd become real. Oh my god. 3-tier cake with a simple, modern look and have it done, designed, done, ready, and presentable in 2 days. 2. Have fun. Have fun with that. Yeah, no, they aren't getting a cake. No! No one would want to do that! For flavors, they would like chocolate and vanilla, separate for 2 of the tiers and in combination of 1. Oh my god, stop talking, Baxter. You're making it worse, Baxter, you're making it worse! They finally cut him off there, folding their arms definitely.
Flavors are not a concern right now, monsieur.
I agree, Baxter! I agree, thank you for voicing that, Xavier. I agree, Baxter! No one would take this. No one would take this. They're just straight up not getting a cake. They're just not getting a cake.
Really?
Really? I would say that's fairly important. Not if I can't do the order. This is just worse and worse the more I sit here. Alright, alright. Let's see. I'm back. Welcome back. I don't know if I already read that yet. So is this Baxter or Xavier on screen? Baxter is the guy with the, brown hair? Black hair? Black hair? It looks kind of, brown on my screen, but I think it's supposed to be black. And Xavier is the one wearing the they, them, button with the pink hair. Alright, let's see. Oh, Xavier, no need to worry. I trust in your abilities immensely. There was a scoff. Baxter kindly ignored it. Besides, there are worse agreements. Or arrangements. Are there? And an example of that would be? Well, entirely theoretically, you could have to prepare desserts for a full-scale party the very night before the event. Yes, and they can also say that they're not taking it! 'Cause I wouldn't! Most people wouldn't take it! I mean, actually, how much am I getting paid? But no! Baxter hitting a JoJo pose. I mean, he could. He could hit a JoJo pose. Would that make you like Baxter more? If he hit you with a JoJo pose? I would say no. I think I'd also say no. I would say no to this request. Slightly. At least you're honest, MZ. I'm gonna eat Monokuma, Baxter. Maybe that would be interesting. We could have a Danganronpa AU of our life. Who would survive? None of these guys, if we're being honest. I don't think a single one of them would survive Danganronpa. Baxter really out here abusing a retail worker to do rest job for his idiot clients. Yep, that's about right. And we have to defend those idiot clients because they're our friends. Oh, let's see here. You blinked. Did Baxter just reference when you worked together to throw a party for Miranda? Oh god, yeah, that was us, wasn't it? Oh god, I forgot about that. You want to date this guy, pro tag girl? Really? Yes, she does. She does, in fact. In fact, she's in love with this guy. Those shared memories had played about your mind lately, especially since you were handling event desserts together again. But he'd made his interest in reminiscing known. There was none. And yet, there he went, chuckling heedlessly and running a hand through his hair. I am sympathetic to this being a difficult task. As Rain is my witness, I did swear to never take for granted the effort it takes to provide decorated and delicious treats under pressure. Oh, so now we're discussing our past. He abuses retail workers. I mean, that's what we're doing now, right? No one would ever accuse Rain of having good taste. We've never had it. The best taste we had was in Derek, and he friend-zoned us for most of the chapter. Probably the better option. Rain just lives on the wild side. Rain lives on a different note. She lives on a different note from the rest of us. We can't keep up with her. We were only able to start baking 3 dozen cupcakes at a time when many people would be going to bed. Baxter glanced at your face, his eyes sparkling with affection. Oh, guys. Who voted yes and who voted no? Chat, who voted yes and who voted no again? You guys want to tell me? I think we might be having an answer. Oh, he's looking at us affectionately? I didn't vote at all? Okay, you're exempt. I guess you'll get executed anyway. Do I have a choice? You can vote yes or no. That's your choice. If you don't vote at all, I guess you're just automatically executed, so I'm terribly sorry. I voted yes, but hoped no. I voted yes. Alright. Interesting. Well, we might have The yeses might be winning this one. The yeses might be winning. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I think it's gonna be the yeses. You weren't mistaken. He was talking about the time you were dating, and now he'd acknowledged you directly in his storytelling. You did what with who? I thought she was here because of your clients. Xavier's disbelief over his words rivaled your own, except for entirely different reasons. They batted their hand encouragingly for more details. Baxter schooled his coyness into a more level-headed smile at being questioned, and you suddenly understood. He knew Xavier. He knew you. The clients he didn't know weren't there. For a moment, Baxter had forgotten his professional self. It wasn't Baxter's normal state to wall you out so completely. That was a concerted effort. Concerted effort. One that went against his real preference. His first instinct was to still be amicable towards you. Yeah, just be amicable towards us. Alright, sure. Baxter, really make up your mind. He's trying to be like, I don't know her. I don't know her at all. And then failing so miserably bad at this. It's a little funny and a little pathetic. I kind of like it. I'm gonna admit, I'm kind of liking the epilogue so far. They might be winning me over a bit. Not Baxter, just this story. Alright, let's see here. 2 is the best answer? That made the mess worse. It was getting hard to be mad at him. Was that better or worse than him genuinely not caring? Alright, everyone's voting 2, so... But that tangent was stopped short with the demur ahem. Let's not get too distracted. While these days are more than a single night, it is a tight deadline regardless. It would be rude to take up any more of your time than necessary. He's really just going to leave this horrible job with them. He's really just going to be like, yes, what a fun story. Anyways, we'll be back in 2 days to pick up that order. Thank you very much. Baxter! This is literally the worst. This is literally the worst. Anyways, I'll pick up that 3-tier wedding cake in these specific styles, and these specific flavors in 2 days. Bye. I would charge triple. Make it quadruple, God! Baxter spoke while continuously ignoring the fact that Xavier did not accept the commission being foisted on them. Truly, nothing rude was allowed. As the only person in the room who might be able to understand the nonsense of what they were going through, Xavier frowned at you. You had no explanation to give for Baxter. Sighing, Xavier pressed their palm to their lower back, already feeling phantom strain from this job. I'll do it for you. That sounded about right. If a random pair of people had rolled in and began making similarly absurd demands, you couldn't imagine Xavier would have humored that. Still, a victory was a victory. Mr. Planner managed to pull it off. Somehow. Don't give it to this. Don't enable him! Don't enable him! He's just gonna do it again somewhere else. What have you done, Xavier? Exactly! What have you done? We've enabled him. We're creating a monster. Look at that smirk. It's the smirk of evil. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are a lifesaver. Baxter retrieved his notebook from his jacket, not hesitating a second. Xavier matched the move. They had a notepad with order sheets. The wedding industry collaborators began the process of putting in a cake order. All the prior decisions were recounted, and Baxter described the pair in question as best as possible. He managed it well, and you found yourself nodding along with each assessment. It was made extra clear that Scott did not want a cake design laced and frilled out like 18th century underwear. That is a picture. That is a picture. I wasn't expecting us to say that. Sure, I guess I also wasn't expecting to say we looked out that the car ride was a purgatory, so I'll give them that, I suppose. The wording choices have gotten stronger. Let's see. Eats a character from Library Bruna at Baxter. Careful, no spoilers. Be careful, be careful. I have not played that game yet. But yes, yeet away, yeet away. Angie likes her love interest. Pathetic. I wouldn't say pathetic necessarily. I usually like them crazy and insane, but I'll take a good pathetic one every once in a while. It depends. Xavier had a handful of follow-up questions, but it was nothing that required calling the couple. And then the bakers slipped the order form into their pocket of their apron. Amazingly, your work there was done. Having a professional do the desserts really was a breeze. At least Baxter did one thing.
Good deal.
A good deal. Thanks for stopping in at Zake. I better get started. They offered a grin, as sweet as any slice of cake. Let's see each other again soon, okay? Not as customers, though. That would be nice, too, but also to hang out after this shared nightmare is all over. Baxter immediately came in with another throat clear, much harder than before. First off, you shouldn't call the Adams wedding a nightmare, even if the circumstances aren't ideal. They have done what they could. They literally have done nothing and expected all this to be done in a breeze. So, I would actually argue that this is a literal nightmare of a wedding. Literally, I don't know what they were thinking. This was altogether a bad idea. I don't know why they thought they could plan an entire wedding all by themselves and it would be perfectly fine and then hire a wedding planner a week before the wedding. But yeah, sure, let's not call it a nightmare, shall we? Right. And second, you were right the first time. Rain is a friend of the couple I am working with. We don't hang out together. Okay, yeah, now we're not even friends, even though you referenced the cupcakes. Alright, sure, buddy. Yeah. No, of course, we're not even friends. That's right. Oh boy, yeah, we're back to square one, aren't we? Okay, sure. Repeat after me, courthouse wedding. No, but they wanted a full wedding, not a courthouse one, so that's what we're giving them. Xavier's face went blank, and they paired it with an ever so slight tilt of the head. I'm not sure why you're saying that, but we've all got work to do. You two can explain it next time. I can wait. Not good. Xavier was using Baxter's own strategy against the both of you. He bristled. That simply wouldn't do. With firm insistence and exaggerated enunciation, Baxter repeated his standpoint. Regrettably, there won't be a next time the three of us come together like this. Once the wedding has concluded, Rain will have no reason to interact further. Oh, buddy, for $5.99, I'm gonna turn that entire reasoning around. I paid for this route, so I don't think you understand. We are getting together by the end of this. For $5.99 plus tax? We're dating, buddy. There's no getting around this. Alright, let's see here. Alright, chat, we have another option choice in front of us. What are we doing? Let's see here. I bought you, so you're mine. It's the dating sim logic. It's the dating sim logic. Hey, I spent money on you. We're dating. Oh, Angie 2025. Yep, quote me on that one. Gonna drink some milk tea. I got some ginger milk tea from the store before the stream. It's pretty good. It's spicy, but it's good. Okay, let's see here. You said you wouldn't see each other anymore last time, and here I am again. Oh boy. Oh yeah, being around Baxter even more. I'd love that, you said sarcastically. Oh no. Okay, one is kind of petty though. You said we wouldn't see each other again anymore last time, and here I am again. Ooh. I guess it depends on how you, like, word it, because one could also be, like, a little optimistic, too. So we could do one as in, like, oh yeah, well, you said you wouldn't see me anymore last time, and here I am again. Or like, oh yeah, being around Baxter even more. I'd love that. Anyway, 2 was the one voted upon, so obviously I'm choosing that. I'm just lamenting over what we could have done. 2 it is.
Woohoo!
Great. Call me when you're free. Rain is leaving shortly after the wedding. If I can fit this cake into my schedule, I'm sure Rain can find the time to visit, especially if she wants to. The same goes for you, Baxter. Baxter shot daggers at Xavier without even dropping his sparkling customer service smile. That only made it more intimidating. I will visit you again, surely, but you'll have to content yourself with only my company. Are we fighting right now? Are we fighting for Xavier right now, Baxter? Because I will fight. Okay, you think this is gonna be your best friend? They'll be my best friend by the time we're done with this, okay? All right, Baxter? All right, I'll take everything. I'll take everything from you. Don't test me. Don't play this game with me. I'll do it. Damn, best boy. All right, we have one Baxter lover in chat. Let's go. All right, let's go, let's go. All right. Now, thank you very much for accepting this rush order. Yes, no, this is Baxter. First, why do I keep getting them mixed up? I see the names and I hesitate for a second, like, wait, which one am I reading for? It's the at the end. All right. Now, thank you very much for accepting the rush order, Xavier. You are such a help, but we need to be going. In the most roundabout way possible, he was kindly requesting Xavier get off his back already. All right, Baxter. Sure. Then he turned that back directly to them and strode out the door without another word. Xavier watched his dramatic exit with their hands stuffed in the big apron pocket. An unexpected seriousness colored their normally bright features. For as playful as Xavier was, they were concerned about their acquaintance? Work friend? Normal friend? You didn't know where they stood with him. That's Xavier. Why do I keep doing this? All right. You didn't know where they stood with him. Xavier themselves likely didn't have a clear answer. Baxter was opaque that way. Yes, he is. He was that way back too, when we dated. Good luck with all of this. You stared at them momentarily, but thought better of continuing that line of conversation. You gave your goodbyes, certain this wouldn't be the last time you spoke, and headed after Baxter. Baxter was waiting for you by the car. He climbed inside as you approached, before you were close enough to try speaking. Oh god, this is gonna be an awkward car ride. You joined him inside. It was tense. Against all odds, being alone in a small space with Baxter had managed to become an even more uncomfortable situation. Seated and buckled, you waited for what he'd do. Baxter asked a simple question. Could you enter in the address where you're staying? I can drive you there. Fine, you could do that. And did. Let's make it more awkward. I think we're about to make it more awkward. Thank you. It went quiet again until he was on the road, past the bakery and out of the most traffic-heavy part of the city.
Well,
Jude and Scott should be pleased to hear that they have a lovely wedding cake. Are we sure it's going to be that on the rush order that it's on? We put it on such a rush order, I'm a little bit worried about what we're gonna get in return. But no, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a lovely cake. I'm sure Xavier at least won't try to ruin it after everything that we've done to them. How could we do this to them? Alright. This nightmare cake order. How could we do this? How much spit will be mixed into the cake batter? I don't even know. Oh god, I don't even know. I feel so bad for Xavier right now. I can't even blame them for anything they do. I'm alive now. Welcome in! Glad to see that you're living. You assumed it would go that way. Of course, Baxter would dance right around what happened without acknowledgement. Now, not what happened in the bakery. Now, not what happened before. Your entire relationship had become a looping series of feigned ignorance. Oh boy. Alright, how are we gonna address this? I like randomly dying and coming back a little later as if nothing happened. That's normal? Just randomly die? How do you do that? Baxter gives me a headache. It's a little bit of a headache trying to get him to be honest about his feelings, huh? Alright, 2 was voted on. We'll go with that. But that didn't mean you were happy about it. No, you weren't going to ignore it. Oh, we're going to confront him about it? Yeah, sure. Let's see how this goes. Baxter, you have to talk to me. Baxter flexed his knuckles, and the phony smile on his face flattened. It's almost over, Rain. He continued in a whisper. I'm merely an employee of your friends. Please feel free to ignore me entirely. Oh boy. Oh, the bee stung Harley. Rip. Rip to Harley. Oh man, I can still hear her voice. Well, it was nice knowing you, Harley. Say something from the afterlife if you feel like it. No, you're not. You're Baxter Ward. I know you even if you pretend that I don't. This isn't a social call. You can't be working 24/7. I'm not letting this go. He sighed in a dramatic fashion that was entirely opposed to the forced cordiality, oh my god, from seconds before. There's no other way. Let's use rock, paper, scissors to decide. What? We're using rock, paper, scissors to decide if we're talking about our feelings? Is that how it works? Hi, Auntie. Hi, welcome in. Welcome in. This profile pic is literally me and the mods and the gremlin of this meme. I see. Imagine if we could just do that, of just like, hey, you have to talk to me. We need to talk about our feelings. All right. Rock, paper, scissors. If you win, we'll talk about our emotions. That's how I'm gonna do all my drama from now on. All right, I'll care about this in a game of... I'll decide if I care about this in a game of rock, paper, scissors. That's incredible. Now the bee is dead? What, did we kill the bee? The bee gets revived every stream and stings one person? Oh, is that how that works? Alright, and Harley was stung. Oh, Harley, you're the chosen one. Still dead, though. What? Before you could doubt the logic of playing a hand-signaling game while driving, or question the maturity levels of the highly professional planner next to you, he'd already made his move. It's going to be rock. I only choose rock. And you? What? Huh? What? Huh? Excuse me? Paper? I'm the one that brought this up! Paper? I called it right. What are we doing here, Baxter? What are we doing? At a complete loss, you held out your hand like you wanted him to shake. He didn't take your paper hand. He didn't make a fist rock either, but he did accept your answer. You win. Okay, again, what are we doing here, Baxter?
Is that right?
Would you mind if I pulled over for a moment? It's about time I took a break. That's fine. Then we will talk. Baxter shut the GPS off. You no longer knew where you were headed anymore, but he took some exit and got a place to park. It was mutually decided not to talk inside the car. It was too suffocating. The both of you wordlessly opened the doors. Outside was the same waterfront path where you saw fireworks together. That was how he found a place to park right away. He already knew the area. You could picture it with clarity. Baxter was by your side, so much younger, so much closer to you, under the night sky and flashes of lights. You'd been happy. You were certain he was happy too. Okay, happy? It's a bit of a stretch if we're being honest, but yeah, sure, we were happy. But that moment was over. The reality of the new present was stark under the unforgiving summer sun. Baxter was walking away from you, pointedly placing distance between you and him. He only faced you directly when he was out of arm's reach. Oh, Rain, what a stunning coincidence stumbling into you here, and right when I happen to be taking a bit of time off work. Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay, okay, Baxter. Sure. All right, I'll play along. If this is the only way we'll talk about our feelings, I'll play along. How could you tell he was happy if he never talks about his feelings? Well, that's just it. He never talked about our feelings, so calling it happy is a bit of a stretch, isn't it? If we never talk even a bit about our feelings. Were you happy then, Baxter? Were you? Do we even know the real you? You'd finally got him talking about it, and it was pure sarcasm. Whew, okay. Alright, okay, I see. Alright. How are you doing this fine afternoon, How do you think, Baxter? Baxter squeezed his eyes shut and pinched the bridge of his nose. Every fiber of his being, every instinct engrailed into him, insisted on escape, and yet he couldn't. Rain, I apologize for what happened between us. I honestly do regret it. That wasn't the distant acknowledgement from the restaurant. His voice was strained, and his words were harsh. I am sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I was unable to keep my word and have bothered you yet again. I'm thoroughly humiliated and have attempted to get in your way as little as possible, though I'm unable to quit outright. I couldn't do that to Jude and Scott. We are both aware that I am fully incapable of making you happy, but in 4 days you'll return to your life blissfully free of my presence in it. Please tell me, what can I do for you? I simply don't know. He ended his bitter ramble on the empathetic plea. Once again, the Baxter of 5 years ago appeared in your mind, though not the sight of him you'd known best, who did whatever he could to leave a good impression. No, you were suddenly 18, standing in front of the home you grew up in, and being told that your boyfriend flat out never wanted to speak to you again. Why had you tried? What did you think would be different? Baxter didn't want solutions or resolutions. 5 years on, he'd still rather never face something or someone ever again than deal with a situation that might hurt. Oh boy, we're letting it out. I need to know if Baxter's spine has a slight bend in it. What are you thinking, Harley? Yeah, me too, Baxter. Okay. Alright, took my drink of tea. Let's see, how are we doing this? I wanted you to care. Might hurt. Oh, that's cute, Baxter. Forget it, Pepe Le Pew. Oh, man, he's not really Pepe Le Pew anymore. I wanted you to care. I wanted you to care has a lot of drama to it, and I kind of want to do that. There's nothing you can do. Alright, we can do 1. I like 1. It's filled with a lot of emotion, and this will turn it into a drama, and I like that. I wanted you to care. I do care about this, but it's not a charming thing now, is it? He answered coolly while running a hand through his hair. I believe nothing else is going to come of this break. Please allow me to take you home. Baxter didn't manage a hint of his usual smile, but he did restrain the acridness into a more business-like stoicism. You gave him as much consideration as he'd shown you. None. He took the silence as acceptance. Great. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that went well. Good talk! Great talk. That was great. That was great. I think that went really well and that we really got out what we wanted to there. Yep, we certainly didn't just shut us out immediately again after we said our piece. All right, that was great. All right, love that. What's next? I love the angst of this. So you returned to the car and the drive resumed. Baxter said nothing else, not that you expected him to. You'd pushed past mere pleasantries with him and seen the results. It was too late to go back now. That left you time with your thoughts. You'd gotten a better grasp on Baxter's intentions. What was motivating him to act the way he had? But in terms of clearing the air, the clouds had only become murkier. Things were in motion, but it was not as if you weren't going anywhere. Eventually, the destination did arrive, and you were turning into the suburbs. Baxter lined up with the side of the road. Rather than pulling into their driveway, he idled with his eyes dead ahead. Goodbye, Rain. There was an audible click as Baxter unlocked the doors. Is he even gonna stop? I'm trying to get him at his core, not his appearance gimmick that he already left behind. I want to see the real Baxter. I want to look into his soul, and I want the drama. Oh, a direct approach, I see. Clever, Josh. I agree. Alright, tuck and roll seems like it. Alright, bye, whatever. Shook your head with a sigh. You just left him. Just leave him? You shook your head with a sigh? Alright, changed your answer to 3. We can do 3. I think 3 is very, like, fine, sure. If this is how it's gonna be. Not like you cared. You got out and walked to the front door before ringing the bell. The day's plan should have the whole rest of the group home and working on guest favors. Baxter's car lurked in the curb in your peripherals. Maybe he wanted to make sure you actually did get inside, or maybe not. You could never guess with him. You started from the door being opened. Hey, Raid! You made it back in one piece! Physically, sure. Emotionally, not completely. Emotionally, we're dealing with a lot right now, actually. Emotionally, I'm in pain. Altogether. I'm not doing well. Scott, I'm not doing well. Hi, Scott. While following your host inside, you stole a last glance behind you. The road was clear. Wedding HQ was at full capacity in the living room. The supply count had doubled, no, tripled since yesterday. And most of it was candy. Presumably, they'd gone down the treats aisle of the local grocery store and gotten a bag of every single one. The only living human you could see sitting in the pile of goods was Jude. He lifted a hand in greeting.
Hey.
Hi, Rain!
Thanks.
You're just in time. We're making lunch. The voices of your friends carried over from the kitchen, as did the smell of the hearty, fresh-cut vegetables. Can I have some? Of course! So, how did it go at the bakery? Xavier's gonna make it, and we told them everything you said about it. The bakery was nice. It should be a good cake. Thank you. It's hard leaving it all in someone else's hands, but this is gonna work. Knock on wood. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, it'll work. I'm sure. No, yeah, totally. We're definitely getting a cake. Sure. Why do they have wedding bands on? I don't know, man. Aren't they not married yet? I don't remember, honestly. I mean, we're having the ceremony. It is possible they already got married and they're just having the ceremony now. But I don't actually know. I can't answer that. I can't remember. Engagement rings? Yeah, it could just be the engagement rings. Sorry, Scott, I couldn't emotionally break your wedding planner for my own vengeance. Oh, we sure tried, though. We sure tried to break them. They're getting married. I miss so much lore. Yeah, this is their wedding. He tapped his knuckles against his own head, chuckling. Thanks. You're gonna help with this? Without stopping his busy work, Jude kicked up a nearby bag of chocolates. Oh, sure I can. Great. Food first. Around the table, in between bites of homemade stew, Scott broke down what you'd missed. The actual favors were treat bags, but part of the job included creating a decorated place setter with the guests' names on it that would indicate where everyone was meant to sit at the various tables. Technically, the attendee could take the fancy display with their name, but the couple was under no illusions that anyone would actually want to. It was purely for presentation. What about the eto blah? What about that? It's all a plot for Baxter and Rain together. I mean, technically speaking, if we're talking about the game, this is a plot to get Baxter and Rain together. You're not wrong by that, but like, this is their wedding. It's not, it's a plot, but it's not like a plot. It's, it's a thing. You get what I'm saying? English, man. Anyways. They are way too calm to be planning a wedding in a week. Actually, 3 days if we're being, if we're going by what Baxter said. The wedding is in 3 days. It's even more of a nightmare. Basically, the steps consisted of writing the name down in your best handwriting, applying decals on the basic nameplate, and filling a bag of candy with what the person might like. When the meal was done, the full force of the party planning committee came together to tackle the trial of guest favors. No one would stop until it was done. A good chunk of the list had been checked off while you were away, and it was simple work, just time-consuming. Luckily, there were plenty of people to do it. Many hands make light work, as somebody once said. Wait, that was Baxter who said it. You were almost certain. That sounded like a phrase he'd use. Oh god, we're using his phrases! Come on, Rain, get yourself together! That's even worse. Of course it's even worse! Can we start dating Cove to make Baxter jealous and then dump him in a big speech at the wedding? And then ask Baxter out in the same speech? Oh my god! Enemies to lovers? This is the closest to enemies to lovers we have ever been. You were driving yourself crazy. He happened to show up, and now your brain was insisted on excavating every minuscule memory you had with the man. While you were there, Jude mentioned twice how you could throw some of every type of candy into each bag and call it a day without a fuss. You had to imagine neither were the first instance of that objection coming up. But each time Scott remained adamant that they should personalize the selection. If someone was coming to their wedding, they were important enough to have a treat to their tastes. All right. Get out of our head. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? Get out of our head, Baxter. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. And yet he doesn't leave, huh? We're down bad, guys. We're down really bad. Alright. Hold on, I'm thinking about something. I'm thinking. My head is hurting because I'm thinking so hard. I'm debating if I should take the first break here or not, or if I should take a break at all and just power through. I'm fine. You know what? I'm fine. Just drink some water as we're talking. All right, we're fine. You know, the character Rain drinks a lot of water. Yeah, like Cove. Because, you know, we're Rain Sky. That is our name. Rain Sky. And then our love interest name is Cove. And we had the gall to make fun of his name. Careful, Angie. I see smoke coming out of your ears. That's common. That happens all the time. Every time I have a thought. You get used to it. Hello, I'm back. I was playing Roblox. Nice, nice. Welcome back. Alright, let's see here. Very deliberately, Cove's candy bag had been left empty until you'd gotten back. You were assigned to do that one yourself. It was as easy as taking candy from a baby in order to give those sweets to Cove instead. Yeah, Cove likes everything, we've already established. Prince Captain Bonbon, that's a throwback. That's a throwback that no one will get because of an inside joke between us. That poor hamster. I'm so tired running on the wheel in your head. Oh yeah, that hamster is tired. It's actually just a fish running in, like, swimming in circles. A hamster couldn't survive down here. Alright, let's see. In the evening, the wedding group chat popped up with a new text. Another entirely casual, exceedingly normal update from Baxter Ward. It noted that you'd meet tomorrow morning to discuss today's accomplishments and plan next steps. Oh yes, that all you accomplished during your outing. You remembered it well and scoffed at the notion of him discussing certain points of interest. During the process, some sparks flew between allies. It couldn't be helped. Debates over which treats were best was inevitable, and those always became serious. Overall, though, you were a unified force. Then, as night fell, your team effort brought about the completion of the collection. On one side of the room was a stack of stylish table settings, each with a thoughtfully compiled bag of candy sitting on top. On the other end was enough garbage to fill a dump truck. I don't know what you're expecting when you plan a wedding in 3 days! Sup, Scott? What I'd miss? Drama. Lots of drama. An unending supply of drama. Baxter forcing a poor retail worker into making a wedding cake with like 3 days to spare. Oh, yes. Yes, that too. Oh, nice. Congrats on the promotion. Yeah! I am Supreme Lord Commander Space. Wait, is your name Supreme Lord Commander Space? Is there 2 spaces now? Or are you naming Space Supreme Lord Commander? And Space actually has the promotion. I'm a little confused on the detail. The happy couple really couldn't even spare a wedding planning how long? I know. They could have at least thought about this a little more. No, she was responding to me. Oh, but I thought it would make sense since it was Supreme Lord Commander and then you add space at the end and like it makes sense, right? I'm Lord Supreme Commander. Oh, your name is Lord? Or is that like a beginning title? Hold on, I need some commas in here. I'm Supreme Lord Commander, comma, space was the statement. Yes, I got that now because I added a comma. Is it really so hard, Harley? Okay, alright, I'm gonna stop being like this. I'm gonna stop being like this now. Oh my god, Lord, I'm a big fan. Oh, that was a perfect way to end that. Alright, let's keep going. I'm gonna stop doing this. Okay. That was gonna be a hassle. I don't know what you expected. But Terry and Miranda were allowed to tap out. When the favors were done, it was already getting late. Oh yeah, no, sure, leave it to me because I'm the one living here. Fun fact, Flower, Xavier's Night Fury, help her human friends on making the wedding cake. Oh, that's cute! I wonder how a dragon would make a wedding cake. No, Angie, we have to make sure you really understand. Harley's over here like, you mock me, while Space is just like, no, I need you to understand fully. Oh, Harley's on the right track. I love mocking you guys. It's fun. For dinner, takeout was ordered, so nobody had to cook or clean another meal after hours of putting little favors together. No complaints there. What about the stew? Was that just for lunch? Stew usually lasts me all day. No, you would never mock us. It's we who mock you. It's mutual. It's a healthy relationship. It's a mutual mocking. For a little while, the three of you could pretend the work was already over for real. No one mentioned the chaos that was waiting one room away. But when everyone was full, Jade wandered back into the living room turned workshop. He heaved a sigh and tossed a random piece of trash in a garbage can. It was a drop in the ocean. The entire living room was a mess of wrappers, paper scraps, and undefinable crafting residue. Oh boy. Scott hovered nearby, his features drawn apologetically. The light-hearted atmosphere you shared as a team earlier in the day had shattered. All that remained was the fractured debris. And it went beyond pre-wedding jitters. After months of planning, Jude had reached a point where he wanted the preparation to be over. Well, I don't know what to tell you, in that you should have hired a wedding planner, you know, a lot sooner than a week before the wedding. But, you know, yeah, okay. Does anyone have any interesting wedding stories? I'm honestly interested. Okay, how to put this one? One of my cousins did have kind of a interesting wedding where they didn't want to do, like, they didn't want to have, like, a super fancy wedding. They did still hire a wedding planner. They did hire a wedding planner, like, way before because they had a lot of family coming up. But they wanted the family to be able to do a lot of the stuff. And so they hired family members. Instead of hiring, like, a person to do, like, caterers or anything, they wanted the family themselves to help out. And so I was one of those recruited to help out with the cooking because I help my family with a lot of cooking stuff. And I do have family that are, like, professional chefs. And so they were like, Angie, can you help us with this? We'd really like it. And at the time I had thought about becoming a professional chef myself. That dream fell away because it turns out I didn't like the hospitality management stuff that much. But I decided I would help out with this. And so it was the only thing I was in charge of, but I was in charge of part of the catering. So we got the food all done. We had vegan options because the person that my cousin was marrying is a vegan. And so was that, like, all of her friends. And so we got everything ready. We had the vegan dishes and we had the non-vegan dishes. And so I was the person that was dishing out, like, the main dishes. And let me tell you that I saw a side of the new family that I don't think I was meant to see because they did not realize that the help that was hired was family, in fact. And boy, some of those people really show you how they are to people they consider just helping. Oh my gosh, I saw some of the rudest people. Like, wow, I was like, oh, this is the most miserable I have ever been at a wedding before. Oh, some of those people really show you their true colors. Oh, man. I am Angie. You're Angie? Also, welcome in, Ruin. Good to see you. Or should I say Angie? Welcome in, Angie. Good to see you. How's the bottom of the ocean looking? Am I finally not Angie? Am I free? Can I leave? Am I allowed to leave the ocean now? Lore drop time, basically. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was not a fun time. I did not enjoy that experience. I did tell them about it. Hopefully they don't watch this video. I'd feel bad. It's been years now. Like, it's been years and years and years since this happened. I don't even know if they're still close with those people, but like, and it wasn't all of them, but it was like, the people that were like that, like, I remember clearly. It was not fun. They were mean. Like, God, they were so mean. And they let me know it. There was one girl that even said, like, God, I can't believe who they got to help. So unprofessional. And I'm just like, it's my cousin, bro. I'm just helping out my cousin. Sorry. Oh, man. But, yeah, that was part of the reason that I'm just like, man, I never want to go into hospitality management. It wasn't the full reason. But, college wiped out the rest of it for me. But, that was one of the reasons that I'm like, I don't think I want to do hospitality management, actually. I like cooking. I don't like everything else that goes with this. Pretty wet down there? Yeah, I bet. The ocean is pretty wet. You get used to it, though. You stop perceiving things as wet after a while when you're down there long enough, and you just start perceiving them as dark altogether. Just very, very dark. Yeah, the reason is me. Yeah, it's all you. It's all Harley. Harley's the entire reason I quit everything. Alright, where were we? Not Baxter, not thinking about Baxter. Why would we ever think of Baxter? Yeah, I hate literally every aspect of customer service. Never again. Yeah, that and working at a bar. I almost forgot that I worked at a bar for a little bit. That also knocked out any part of me that wants to work in hospitality management anymore. God, working at a bar was bad. Oh my God, you see a whole other group of people that are awful. Customer service, my beloved. Yep. Oh man. People that enjoy doing it though, like I did meet people that like this was their entire thing. And like, you know, happy for them. They went on to do some pretty cool stuff. It takes a certain type of person, and I found out I wasn't that type of person. But, like, it was really cool seeing people that actually were, like, super passionate about, like, you know, those positions. A bar that deep? It happens. They'll put them anywhere, man. Anywhere they can make money. Bottom of the ocean, no problem. As long as people down here tip well. Alright, let's continue on. Let's continue on with the story, shall we? Alright. Nope, we read this. He was worn down, and little victories weren't able to lift his mood. All he saw was what was still left. Meanwhile, Scott only seemed to become more invested, more concerned, over how it came together as the deadline approached. Your stomach was in knots. You were stuck right in the middle of a very personal matter with nowhere to go. We can clean this later. Let's play something. Sure. Scott blurted out an agreement instantly. If Jude had asked him to do a backflip for his entertainment, Scott probably would have in that moment. Cool. Want to join? He tilted his head over your way. You waved your hands back and forth. Thanks, but I'm gonna go to my room. The two had spent the entire day with other people. You weren't going to get in the way with them having some quality couple time in their final hour. All right. Jude gave you a half shrug, half smile. He was on what you were doing. Have a good night, Rain. Good night. Your host retired for the day, happier than they'd been since you first showed up. It was a relief. You made your way to the guest room. The rest of the night would be yours. The gays! Yes, the gays! I like doing back-end stuff a lot. I like cooking, food prep, or stocking, or the like, but I hate dealing with people. It's honestly the worst. Yeah. Like, I don't really like food prep, but I like cooking itself. There's something about food prep I've never cared for that much, but, like, actually cooking, I really enjoy. It's more baking, I'd say. Baking is, like, the thing I love the most. I love making, like, cakes or cookies or stuff like that. I cook. I like cooking, but, like, baking is my favorite. Food prep is so meditative. Yeah, I'm the opposite. It's cooking for me. I'm gonna regret this, but whatever. What are you going to regret? I'm interested, huh? Alright. Let's continue, shall we? Where were we? What were we doing? Huh? What was this? Let's see. You called Cove to finally let him know the situation. Rue Angie! Welcome back, Rue Angie! Glad to see you! Alright. So you called Cove to finally let him know the situation. You got in touch with Derek to inform him of the latest Baxter sighting. Derek? Do we associate with Derek in this story? In this AU? Are we like buddy with Derek? I don't remember our stance on Derek in this story. Of course we do. Wow, Angie kind of cringed that you made an alt account to boost your comments while you stream. Oh no, you caught me. Rue Angie is definitely my alt account. Quick, Rue Angie, say something that I would say. We always are buddies with Derek. Alright, do we call Cove or Derek? We have a crush on Cove, so I think it's natural that we end up calling him. I'm old. Oh man, sounds just like me. Derek. Well, if Space has anything to say about this, we're calling Derek. I don't know why Derek would care about this, but we're calling Derek. Derek is our backup plan that we'll never actually hook up with, but we'll do everything in our power to keep single so we can pretend we would. Oh my god, there's a whole story behind this. We're toxic. Alright, yeah, sure, we'll go with this. After what happened that day, you could use a conversation with someone who'd be happy to hear from you. Your mind wandered as you waited for when a deep, welcoming voice would meet your ears. Derek got along wonderfully with Terry and Miranda when you all hung out together, though the trio of you, Cove and Derek, remained the typical group. That, or you, him, and his brothers. And so, Derek's ties didn't extend to Jude or Scott. They'd never even met. You were positive Mr. Responsible Suarez would have shown up to help if he had been asked, but no one wanted to make Derek go through that much trouble for an event he wasn't invited to. Especially not after the near disaster that was Miranda's 19th birthday party. B2W, congrats on 300, and where is the Discord server? Patience, my friend, patience. I wasn't exactly ready for 300. It came out of nowhere. Gotta go, Angie, safe stream. Thank you for showing, Harley. Glad to see you here. Have a nice night. Glub, glub, I'm a fish. Oh, man. The resemblance is uncanny. 302 now? Yeah! Yeah, it's crazy, right? Oh man, I wasn't expecting it all to happen. I said at the beginning of this stream, I did say as an announcement that either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna be putting a poll up for our celebration, and then there are two big things I'm hoping to release when we have our celebratory stream, which is either gonna be next week or the week after. So prepare, guys, prepare. I am trying to get some things ready. So, yeah, we'll see what those could be. We'll see what those could be. I wonder. Oliver is my god. Everyone should bow and pray. Oh my god, it sounds exactly like me. It's too much like me. This is getting scary. Okay. Alright. That meant Derek would simply be busy with his normal work and family obligations. At least you could always catch up over the phone. It was on that note that your call went through. Sup, gal? Hey, Derek. Is that wedding you're working on going alright? I bet it's awesome. It was a joy to speak to him already. Derek had barely a clue of what was going on at the moment, but would pump you up regardless. Derek is great. Derek is so good. Yes, well, yes and no. You shook your head, ignoring that he couldn't see it, and laid out the biggest revelation before you got off track with a pleasant conversation on planning stuff. Listen, Derek, Randy's brother and his fiancée have a wedding planner, Baxter Ward. Does he even know who Baxter is? Does he even know who Baxter is? I'm sure you're yearning for an actual good love interest. I would love to see one. I would love to get back to one. Space is a short gremlin. Oh my god, it really is me. The admission was pushed out of you like a bad cough. Derek should be able to understand your sick reaction to it. Wait, hold on. Again? You're talking about that guy from the soiree? Yes. And the guy who came back as a tourist? Yes. No way! Is he gonna appear in 5-year increments for the rest of your life? Oh my god. Oh wait, hold on now. Oh my god. He's right. He did. Wait a second. He appeared at the soiree, and then 5 years later he appeared as a tourist, and then 5 years later we're here again. What the hell? Oh my god. He's gonna ditch us again and then show up 5 years later. This is the first time I've seen Derek and I already love him. He's hilarious. Derek is great, and he's one of my favorite characters in this game. Unfortunately, in his DLC, he friend zones you until last second. So you don't get much of a romance with him, unfortunately. What you do get is great. But it was a little frustrating if you wanted to, like, actually, like, date him. Alright, let's see. Oh my god. Ask me in another half decade. What are we doing, chat? What are we doing? I don't know. Some of these are good. I believe it. I'm unlucky. He better not. Just the he better not. I do like 6. 6 is really good. Alright, 6 it is. There was a scratchy sound that came from the other end of the line. Most likely he was scratching. Derek rubbed his head when he was thinking. You can't catch a break, huh? He was an ass, right? A snort shot out from your face. You knew calling him was a good idea. That's a good way to put it. I gotcha. You might have kicked this off, but Derek kept the ball rolling. You and him continued to talk until it got too late to responsibly keep going. You'd both be getting up early. Derek gave you a hearty goodbye then the call ended. Everything was done, for the moment anyway. Oh, we can't talk to Derek more? That's sad. I would have loved to talk to Derek more. You finally had space to think about something other than the wedding worries of wedding worries or Baxter bothers, at least for a little while. The success rate of that plan was getting ignored. An attempt was made, but no matter how much you fought to banish Baxter from your mind, it didn't work. He was hiding in every dark corner, ready to make another unwanted appearance at the slightest disturbance. Is this guy like a ghost or something? What are we describing him as? I'm always thinking of anything other than Baxter. Oh, but this isn't you. This is Rain Sky, and Rain Sky is just always thinking about Baxter. Basically, you didn't get much relaxation in. Then, all of a sudden, it was morning, and you were off to prepare a second meeting with the planner. Did we get any sleep at all? Oh no. Everyone once again gathered in Baxter's office, waiting for him to arrive, and in turn, Jude and Scott were tense. The closer the wedding got, the further they were from gaining any semblance of peace. No matter how much they tried to unwind outside of the meetings, the moment they returned to the chic office, their discomfort skyrocketed. The way Scott's fingers were fidgeting in his lap, you would almost believe that he was anxiously twisting the tension in the air. Miranda frowned, unable to disregard the worsening creases in her brother's brow. Hey, this rug reminds me of Baxter. From before, anyways. Not a good conversation, I think. I'm back, what happened? We thought about Baxter all night and couldn't get any sleep. Our mind is only on Baxter. This is a Baxter channel now. I'll be changing my name soon enough. She didn't elaborate for those not there before, and the awkward silence sent Terry into a fit of laughter. He pointed at the striped rug. That's so true. It's literally the first Baxter-like thing I've seen. What about his business cards? Let's see, his phone was black too. His car is black and white to no one's surprise. Well, yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. I mean, he kind of still does. It's not like exactly how it was back then, but I mean, it's sort of still. It's, you know, he dropped the more like extreme thing from like his college days and just went to being like a normal kind of obsessed with black and white. You know. It's the natural progression of things. Let's see. You looked at the floor skeptically, you sat quiet, you tried to ignore the conversation. What stage are we in? I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink of tea here. Six? Yeah, I can do 6. We just don't want to. We don't want to talk about this anymore. We're too like. Normalcy died when we didn't mace Baxter the first time he opened his mouth. Not even giving him a chance. Breathing deep, you tuned them out. The last thing you wanted was to think about Baxter more than necessary. What about his house? I'm willing to bet that it's black and white, Wonderland. He's just hiding it. Miranda giggled at Terry's teasing remarks, and your nails pressed into your skin. You hoped this meeting would be quick. Randy looked at her brother and Scott, noticing their lack of input on the subject. She knew they would need a little context to join in on the joke, but neither even acknowledged her presence. The couple was too absorbed in their own worries from their stony expressions to crack from her icebreaker. She folded her hands neatly in her lap and made no further attempts to chat. You and Terry shared a knowing glance and decided to also stay quiet. Jude and Scott weren't in the mood. Shortly after, there was a knock on the door. Everyone snapped out of their thought bubbles and swiveled towards each other instead of moving to answer it. Hello? The door opened and Baxter cheerfully stepped inside the office. His notepad was already open to a fresh page. Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for waiting. MZ's too boring to make Rain toxic. Don't listen to them. Still gotta make Rain as toxic as possible, huh? I agree, I want this to be full of drama. A round of greetings bubbled up from the planning party committee while Baxter moved through the room. He promptly sat on the rolling chair opposite the couch and clicked his pen out. Now that we're all here, we should begin. Let's go over where things stand and determine how to proceed next. Scott sat up straighter on the purple couch and stiffly nodded. I kept wanting to combine those words for some reason. Jude, in contrast, slouched further into the cushion. All right. Uh-huh. So yesterday, an order was put in for your wedding cake. I can assure you it will be ready on the date of the ceremony.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Of course.
Of course. Baxter carefully placed his pen tip to the notepad. His expression grew more serious all of a sudden. Speaking of the cake, I must give a small disclaimer. There is a tradition called cake smashing. I'm not sure if either of you are familiar with that. Oh, are we gonna do that, or, It merely means one or both members of the wedding couple slather cake into the face of their partner. I strongly suggest that you decide beforehand who, if either, will participate and to what degree of messiness. I cannot tell you how easy it is to sour the entire day by accidentally crossing a simple boundary line. Yeah, I do definitely know a lot of brides that don't like cake smashing. It is a thing that you either love it or hate it. So yeah, good to talk about that beforehand. I do agree on that. There's a sad history of partners who find ignoring the wishes of their husband, wife, or spouse to be funny and realize far too late that it's absolutely not. Alarmed, Jude and Scott stared at Baxter. You were certain that neither had even considered any of those possibilities. Do you wanna? No, I don't. Do you? No way. Then can we not do it at all? Do we have that option? Yes, it's your wedding. Of course you have that option. Listen, my cousins, for their wedding, this is the part I didn't tell you guys, that was actually like really fun. Instead of walking up to the altar, like you usually do, they rode in both on their bicycles. Not one at a time, both together rode in on their bicycles up to the altar. Just because they wanted to, and they met through bike riding. You can do whatever the heck you want in your wedding. It's your wedding. If you want it to be fancy, hire a wedding planner. If you don't want it to be fancy, have fun. Do what you want. It's your wedding. You can literally have it the way you want to do it. Actually, smart of him to bring this up now. I'll give him that. Yeah, no, actually, I agree with that. This is actually a good move from Baxter. Certainly, we don't have to include any tradition besides your own. The couple simultaneously sighed in relief. They peeked at the other and shared an amused grin. The first time either had smiled all morning. Baxter stole a moment to jot down a note.
Glad to hear it.
I'm delighted we're on the same page. Moving right along, you worked on guest favors and decorations, correct? Have you finished, or will you be continuing with that task?
We're done.
We are done with the guest favors, but... Scott anxiously laced his fingers and pressed his palms together in his lap. His knuckles turned white. Whenever he had anything to say about wedding plans, it became a trial of trying to avoid a disagreement. It's fine to explain what's on your mind. That's why we're all here. There's no way to compromise or find a solution that you won't even have when you won't even have the discussion.
That surprised you. Baxter's ability to confidently and kindly handle issues in this kind of setting was admirable, but also completely ironic. Yeah, Baxter! Completely ironic. Got to go for a bit, have fun, be toxic in your heart. I'll try my best! I'll try my best to be toxic for you, Josh! Are we really gonna go through the entire wedding process? Yes, we're gonna go through the entire wedding process. What kind of game do you think this is? Of course we're gonna go through the entire wedding process. You knew what he was like on a personal level, and this was a big do as I say, not as I do kind of flag. Swallowing thickly, the defeat in Scott's expression didn't seem so dire anymore. He was more willing to take on the challenge with Baxter on his side.
I also wanted more decorations, specifically the main thing for a reception. We don't have that. Centerpieces? Yes, that's what I meant. We need to buy all the parts, but if we kept the design simple, then I think we could be done before the wedding.
After getting his thoughts out, Scott risked a glance at his fiancée. Jude closed his eyes tiredly and took a deep breath. Oh, hold on. Sneezed. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Excuse me.
Let's go to the store. It's gotta be done today. Awesome, cool. And I can go without you if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. I'll do it. Scott's joy vanished. Jude didn't hide an ounce of the irritation in his voice. He was forcing himself to go along with this rather than taking any true interest, and he was making that fact crystal clear. Oh dear. Well, you can't have a wedding without a little bit of drama, so it seems. Come on, Jude. She poked the side of his arm with a forceful jab, and Jude shooed her off. His frown worsened into a scowl.
I already said I'd do it.
I understand.
I believe you're right, Scott. There will be room to pick out some materials that can be arranged into a lovely centerpiece. The process can be quite low effort and look wonderful, so I'm taking it that shopping for decorations will be the big task of the day.
Scott watched Jude for a few seconds longer before answering. He nodded slowly.
Before the window of opportunity closes, is there anything that you would want to be included, Jude? Anything that you'd enjoy? It doesn't have to be a typical wedding feature. There are no limits on what your ceremony or reception can have.
No. Okay, I can tell that we're enjoying the wedding process right now. I think Jude is tired of this work. Which is probably why we should have hired that wedding planner a little sooner.
He folded his arms across his chest, and you wondered how deep Jude was about to dig in his heels. I don't want anything else. We're almost finished. Why add more on top of it? Randy sighed. Terry silently bit his lip. That was a track you'd gone down before, repeatedly. It was always the same point of contention with Jude, but today, Scott was emboldened. Enough that he muttered his long-held-back grievance anyway.
Why are you being like this?
If you don't have anything to contribute, can you at least stop trying to take away what I think of?
Okay, yep, I knew this would happen eventually. I thought that I would go ahead and make up the entirety of the drama for this wedding, but it turns out we still, planning a wedding is stressful. So I'm sure these guys have a lot of stress that they're feeling right now. And even though I am one of the things contributing to that because of me and Baxter, I can acknowledge that, they probably will also go through their own. It's not about me as much as I want to make it about me right now because of Baxter right here. It's about them.
Jude's eyes snapped wide open. He swiftly pulled in his shock and replaced it with a distinctly unimpressed stare. I didn't take anything away from you, and I did contribute. In the planning stage. We're past that. It's done. But since there's time, we've been putting this thing together for weeks, hell, months in some ways. I've been to more parties than you, and I planned more. You need to relax. Jude went to brush back some of his curls, but his fingers tightened and dug into his scalp instead. Bewildered, his gaze flickered around the room. Scott doesn't even like parties. I don't get his issue. We have a planner now. He can figure this shit out. Why even have him if we're still going to be spending every hour before the wedding working on this crap?
Oh boy. Oh my god, you guys. You guys suck at this. I agree. I don't think we're great at this. I think we're really, really, really bad at this.
Jude's flash of anger dimmed as quickly as it had flared. He redirected his attention to Baxter apologetically. No offense, dude. It's not your fault. None taken on my account. The pinch in Baxter's features made you think he was fairly miffed on behalf of someone else. Continuing the trend of speaking directly to his audience, Scott offered his side of the defense.
True.
Everything Jude said is true. I've never planned a party, and yeah, I haven't been invited to many either. But we're the people making this one.
It is really something to say. He's not even been invited to parties. That is quite the argument to make. He can't plan a party. He's never been invited to one. All right. Call him out, why don't you?
I don't want it to be an awkward embarrassment. All of our friends and family are coming. I can't stand the idea that they'll leave wondering why the hell they even came in the first place.
Oh, they're not going to be like that. If they truly love you, they're not going to be like that. They're going to be happy to celebrate for you. Like, make your wedding as perfect as you want it to be. Don't get me wrong. If you want it to be fancy, if you want all this stuff, then you should have that on your wedding. But also, your family shouldn't judge you for what wedding you have. It is your wedding. You should be happy with that. Do what you want.
Scott began his explanation sad, but the longer he spoke, the more his frustration grew. And having a planner doesn't mean we can drop everything onto someone else. The entire point was so more could get done. At least that's why I wanted an expert to help. I'm not interested in half-assing it, and if Jude doesn't want to do anything else, he doesn't have to. But all I've said against him the entire time is he should stop making me feel guilty for not giving up. Jude chuckled chucked his own self-imposed pretense and shot back directly at Scott. You shouldn't have to do anything either. That's my whole point. But if you keep taking on stupid crafting projects, then I have to handle some of it for you. But it's not needed. Nobody cares that much. I care, even if I'm the only one. Oh, come on. That's not what I meant. Right, Jude. It really sounds like you're invested. And that was the end of their discussion. This meeting had not gone to plan, and the discomfort was reaching suffocating levels. Baxter leaned back against his chair, crossing his legs. Let's take a pause to breathe and assess what's happening here. There's nothing wrong with caring about your wedding. However, it is a truly draining experience to create a massive and important event from the ground up. That's why we have planners, so there should be an understanding for that as well. Now, as the expert here, I must ask an important question. Both Jude and Scott nodded. Their gazes became glued to Baxter, what am I trying to say? Their gazes became glued to Baxter, anything other than each other. Slowly, Baxter untwisted himself and leaned forward, almost lifting out of his seat. Can you guys stop having relationship drama so we can get back to our own relationship drama? Now, it's their wedding. We're not supposed to be thinking about us. It's about them or something. It's about us. It's always about us. What are your opinions on bowling? Hey, chat, do you remember what I said earlier? About, do you guys remember what I said earlier? That if we revisited everything we did in the main story, like going back to a bowling alley or watching a play, that I was gonna riot? Do you guys remember that at all? Are we gonna go back to a bowling alley, Baxter? Are we gonna revisit all of the stories again? Alright. I'm gonna pull up the checklist. We have a play. We have the pier that we watched fireworks at. We have a play. Next up, we don't have a play. We have the pier we watch fireworks at, and we have a bowling alley. Next up, if we have a play, the pitchfork's coming out. I'm warning you now, Baxter. The pitchfork is coming out. What the hell? Bowling, it's a casual sport popular with almost all ages. Dude, he knows what bowling is. He's asking you, what was your important question? You can't be telling me people have bowling at their weddings. Actually, no, that can happen. That can actually happen. People do all sorts of things at their weddings. Bowling alley weddings are actually a thing. Bro, there's been weddings at McDonald's before, or Walmart. People have weddings over anything they like. Baxter considered that remark with a smirk. He tapped the side of his cheek twice. No one has ever done that at any of the weddings I've helped plan, but I wouldn't be surprised if some couple out in the world set up a game or two of lawn bowling for their guests. I also wouldn't be surprised if someone decided to have a wedding at a bowling alley. I walked in at a wedding one time at a Joe's Crab Shack. Trust me, people have weddings everywhere. Or perhaps even held the reception at a bowling alley, see? Interesting, though, that's not what I had in mind. I wish to invite the 5 of you to bowl with me today. Right now, preferably. My treat. Perplexed, Scott pushed his glasses up. He was at a loss for words. I'll do it. What? I said I'd do it. You would? Jude's answer confused Scott further. He gauged the room and Terry offered him a thumbs up. I love bowling! Well? I mean, if I'm not thinking about Baxter right now, which I am, but if I'm not thinking about Baxter right now, it's like, yeah, sure, sounds fun, I guess. Yeah. Terry put forward a high five that you gladly accepted with a loud slap. Just about everyone was thrilled by the prospect of getting out of the office and stretching their legs. But Scott retained the final say. He tightened his already taut ponytail. All right, we can go do that.
Excellent.
Splendid. I know the perfect place. And that was how you ended up at the exact bowling alley Baxter had brought you 2 years before. You followed your friends inside, holding that revelation close to your chest. I fucking knew it. Freaking damn it, Baxter, I knew it. We're gonna go down memory lane of every single spot, every single dating spot you took me to. Okay, maybe not the cabin in the mountains, because that would be a little far away, and I don't know how they'd fit that into the story. But we're gonna go down and reminisce on every single little thing that we did together, aren't we? You never got over anything. You never got over a single thing with us, did you? I freaking knew it. I freaking knew that we were gonna be here. Alright, seriously, if we're gonna rehash the play, I'll riot. But this is kind of fun. As long as we don't have to sit through the play, I'll say. As long as we don't have to sit through the play again, we're fine. I guess we can reminisce on it, though. It was fairly surreal to be there again, and with Baxter, too. Everything appeared just as you remembered it, even down to the shiny red seats. The almost otherworldly atmosphere that seemed to encompass every bowling alley remained intact. It was remarkable how the lights and sounds were so different from normal day-to-day life. Before anyone could further question Baxter's planning methods and what they were even doing there, you were at the front of the line. Hi, Angie, I'm back. Welcome back! Angie, do you honestly think this visual novel won't put you through another play? I wouldn't count it out, but I don't think they're gonna make us read another play. That would really be panning things out, and I don't think they're gonna pan it out that much. The group secured an alley, changed shoes, and were set to start. How about we play on teams? Mine versus yours, Jude? Like always? Sure thing, Scott. The end of Jude's lines curved shyly, and he pointed at his sister. Randy, you're with me. Miranda bobbed her head and then gave a potential competitor a once-over. With her gaze full on Terry, he shot his hand up. I want to be on Randy's team. Jude laughed, rubbing the side of his neck. He let Terry sweat by pretending to contemplate his request. Pretty please? Not much of an argument, but sure, he makes the team. And of course that leaves us with Baxter, doesn't it? Oh god, we have to be on the same team as him. Haha. Angie, do you honestly think this visual... Oh, no, wait, I read that before. Why did I think that was a new message from you, MZ? My bad. Alright, let's keep going. Yes! Sorry, Scott, Rain, Baxter, but she's my girlfriend. We're kind of a package deal. Oh yeah, well this is Baxter. We're not a package deal, but for $5.99 I'm gonna try and make it a package deal. You're a couple. Yep, we are. We've been this whole time. Don't tell me you didn't know. Terry gave Baxter a smug jab with his elbow. Well, I didn't want to presume anything. Still, hallelujah. I'd hoped it had worked out for you. He pressed his palm against his heart and let out a sincere sigh of relief. Terry wasn't so self-impressed anymore. What does that mean? Was the romantic tension you had towards Miranda meant to be a secret? I felt fairly obvious from the few occasions we interacted. Well, he knew. I thought so too. I always thought that they seemed really close back in the part 3 of our life. I kind of thought so too. That's preposterous. I never said a word back then. Well, you know,
it's like more of the way that you were both kind of like, I don't know how to put this exactly, but, you see, it was kind of, let's see. Even then, how long have you liked her? Give me a break. Baxter, Terry was trying his best. I mean, I didn't think it was the most subtle thing ever. I kind of thought the game was hinting at it a couple of times. So, let's see. I'm pretty sure everyone knew. Terry's lips parted, but not a single sound came out. Blinking quickly became the extent of his abilities in that shocked state. Miranda bumped him with her hip and giggled. We've been each other's favorites for a long time. The sweet moment pulled Terry out of his embarrassment and wiped away the worries from his expression. Baxter cleared his throat. I apologize for the distraction. A distraction from the secondary distraction he already orchestrated. What a feat. It's cool. Like you said, it all worked out. And that's what counts with me. Energized, Terry punched a fist into his opponent's palm. He nodded towards the alley. And right now, I'm ready to roll. We've got our team. We got our teams. We can start. If you don't mind, Rain. Oh, right, because now you're finally asking if I'm okay being on Baxter's team. Well, we are always competitive. That is the thing with Rain. She is very, very competitive. So even if we don't like Baxter, the other team's going down. So, I wanted to be on Scott's team anyway. He wanted to be on my side? Really? Yep. Cool, thanks. I'm glad to have you. Miranda grinned eagerly. She rubbed her palms together. Excellent news. Let's get this game started. How are we deciding who's going first? Rock, paper, scissors? Ugh. Suddenly I'm reminded of an event that happened yesterday. A classic. One I rarely win, though I only choose rock. Suddenly I'm reminded of an event that happened yesterday. What a statement. He was a man with convictions. Rock-based convictions, apparently. Okay. Regardless, since Jude got to pick who was on his team, I believe it would be fair for Scott's team to take the turn first. Jude shrugged smugly at the suggestion. He gestured towards the colorful bowling balls. Go ahead. It's not gonna make a difference. That's right. Scott calmly readjusted his glasses, then smirked. He pointed at his husband-to-be. Jude's gonna lose no matter when he steps up to the alley. Jude snorted. His competitive nature burned brightly in his unshakable expression. Bring it on, Grant. That's kind of cute. That's kind of adorable. You're about to get your government funding revoked. Scott's mouth wobbled slightly at the sound of his own nickname, but he was determined to keep his game face on. Squaring his shoulders, he went straight to the rack and selected his ball. Are we gonna go through the entirety of this bowling game? I just thought of that all of a sudden. We might be going through the entirety of the bowling game. Alright, let's do this! Scott went for the medium option. He picked it up and sent it down the alley with a large curve. Angie, do you need to ask this? I feel it's appropriate to ask it somewhat. Unfortunately, the ball barely managed to bring down 2 pins. His confidence hadn't faltered, though. You caught him mumbling under his breath. No, just try again. The bowling ball rolled on back, and Scott brought it to the starting line, and in this round, he managed to put a special oomph in his swing. The pins scattered in all directions. It would have been an easy strike if that had been his first throw, but it wasn't. Your team opened with a spare. You can go next, Rain. You hopped to your feet and gave your arms a quick stretch while weighing your bowling ball options. Ooh, no, this is important, chat. Chat, this is super important. Do we pick the heaviest? Do we pick medium? Or do we pick the lightest? I know this is a hard decision. This is the hardest one we've ever had to make. But we need to make it. I'm counting on you guys. I'm counting on all of you to make the right decision. Oh my god, 3, I guess. Pick the lightest. Oh, come on. We're an athlete. We're a beehive boxer. We're supposed to get this. This is our thing. 3 it is. It felt a little uneven initially, but you were expecting that. Your choice had changed with time, and it was something you were getting used to. Moving with precision, you took position. With a single swing, you let go, and... This is where it gets tough. Are we good at bowling? Are we good at bowling? Do we have humility and maybe we got a little worse? We stepped back from our bowling career? Or are we? Of course we're good at bowling. Of course we're good at bowling. We need to crush these guys. Our skills are perfect. The ball masterfully flew down the alley and swerved into a strike. Scott excitedly threw his arms into the air and cheered. Whoa, incredible! Of course we are. We're perfect. Thanks. I'm gonna try my best to keep it up. Win or lose, I'm betting on you for the best individual score. Of course you are, because I'm perfect. I'm glad this game lets me be the perfect person I want to be. Truly the best power fantasy to go around. Last up for your crew was the wild card, the person any of you least expected to be here, yet he was the only reason you were there to begin with. Your paths crossed while you were returning to the sitting area, and Baxter was going to select his ball. He briefly tilted his head in your direction. I'm also glad to be on this team. Why are you saying this to us right now? Baxter? Baxter, do you want to have another talk? Baxter! Baxter, do you want to talk? You seemed awfully like you didn't want to talk yesterday, but you keep saying things to me that kind of imply you want to talk a little more, Baxter. I'm gonna let it go for now, but you're on thin ice, buddy. The sound of his voice stopped you dead in your tracks. You looked over your shoulder, but he had continued on his path. Shaking your head, you secured your seat and watched what he did next. Baxter brushed his fingers along the rack of shiny weighted spheres. His hand stopped on the white ball, the heaviest size. He selected it, not without a subtle smirk. He strode up to the alley just fine with that. Rolling your eyes, you didn't know who Baxter was trying to impress. A lot of people use the heaviest ball. It was nothing special. Baxter didn't waste time messing around. He hefted the ball in an arc and sent it right off. He managed to topple 7 pins with the first throw and scored a spare in his second row. I'll accept that. He pivoted to the group and dipped his head good-naturedly. After his performance, Jude stood up and clapped politely. All right, it's our turn now. The opposing team started off with their leader, Jude, who matched his fiancée and got a spare. In this case, he managed almost every pin on the first try and sealed the deal on the second. Oh my gosh, we are really going through every single person. I'm gonna motherfucking lose it. Oh my god, how many words do you need to throw a ball? A lot! A lot of words! I'm back! Welcome back! Welcome back! Look, we really need to articulate how we're throwing the ball, okay? Terry bounced over and scored a spectacular strike like it was nothing. He met your eye and grinned. In terms of one-on-one, he showed himself as your real competition. Finally, it was Randy's round. She grabbed one of the heavier balls and boldly skipped to the alley end. What she did couldn't be classified as a throw, but a gentle nudge. The ball scooted right into the gutter. There wasn't enough momentum to even reach the pins. Everyone in your group gawked at her in disbelief. Jude's jaw in particular hit the floor. You really shouldn't have picked your sister for this. You really shouldn't have. Just really not the best option. Bet you're regretting that choice now. Should have chose me to be on your team. Randy, what was that? Whoops, I don't know. She spun on her heel and twirled a curl with a fox innocence. Jude ran a hand down his tense face. He knew what kind of mischief his sister was cooking. You're throwing the game for me? My own sister? No, that was an accident. Miranda couldn't stop a single giggle and fluttered to her seat. She sweetly folded her hands in her lap. Damn.
Jude sighed and bared down on her with all his big brotherly disappointment. His demeanor was sour enough to spoil Miranda's sugar-coated smile. Like a traitor's reveal, her true twisted intentions were revealed. I'm with Gran on this one.
She's on our side! Double agents this entire time! Alright. Let's see. I'll even the scales for you. That's not fair. Guess I also might have an accident. Love you, Randy. Sorry, Scott. You can't have 4 members on your team. I'll lose for Jude's win! Oh no, which one's funnier? Chat, do you guys have an opinion on this one? I don't know which one to go with. All of these are kind of funny. We can just go like, alright, wins in the bag! Or we could like actually throw it for them. Make it even. I don't know. This one's hard. Okay, alright. I'm gonna try to make a decision here. What is funniest? That's not fair because I also have to have an accident. I'll even the scales for you, Jude. I do kind of like that. If your sister, I'll even the scales for you. We're switching teams here. Each team has one person that's trying to lose it for the other. Miranda gasped loudly and Jude tilted his face towards you. His eyes were brimming with confidence. Hell yeah! Just then, Miranda hooked an arm through Terry's, and her next devious plan became obvious. You pointed accusingly at her. Don't. She did. Terry, I know you love to bowl, but we can't win. She was using the power of love for evil, and of course, it worked. Luckily for you, I can lose just as good as I can win. Thank you. Miranda squished Terry into a big hug. She'd flipped the best player on their team against her brother. And there's no way you could do poorly enough to beat us. Everyone's gonna try to lose it for their competitor. Clearly, this challenge is man-to-man Nope, that's not the narrator. This is Baxter. Clearly, this challenge is man-to-man between the happy couple. I'll be bowling out as ours. It's only proper. Oh my god. You did a double take, dumbfounded by the situation. The last thing you were expecting was Baxter getting involved with this silly game inside of a game. Thanks? Fine.
Yep.
Yeah, fine. It's me and you. The only people playing seriously. No complaints here. Scott stood up and pushed his sleeves up to his elbows. It was his chance to rack up points. Round after round, you, Miranda, Terry, and Baxter found a variety of ways to whiff it, from Baxter tapping a ball forward with his foot to Terry lowering the ball directly into the gutter. Meanwhile, Scott and Jude attempted the novel concept of hitting pins. The final round came down to the wire, and Jude's final frame would decide the game. He put everything he had into the throw, and Jude got a strike. The round was his, the win was his, and he stood there stunned. Ooh, what are we doing? Alright. Offer him a high five, offer Jude a fist bump. I mean, he's our team. Technically, it's the team we decided to double cross our team and join his team, so technically we're on his team by losing purposely from the other one. Fist bump? Sure, fist bump. Congrats! Thanks. Couldn't have done it without you. Jude proudly bumped your fist. Jude returned his attention to the scoreboard. It was certainly unique with the amount of zeros. He let out a whistle. Wow. It's extraordinary how good of a bowler you are. So are you. It was a close call, and a damn good game. I'm glad we got ditched by our entire teams. Me too. We are not being affectionate with Baxter. Scott placed his hands on his hips and tilted his head to the side. He studied Jude from the ground up. You never make it easy on me, though. Can't go too soft. Jude chuckled and ruffled his curls absent-mindedly. The two of them shared an affectionate grin instead of words. Despite losing, Scott had no hard feelings. He never gave up, and that was all he could ask of himself. It helped that he was too enthralled by his fiancée's investment in the competition. Jude's joy only fueled his own. It was a comfort to see the couple in better spirits. Even with all the disagreements over the wedding details, you knew at the end of the day, Jude and Scott truly loved each other. Peeking at Baxter, you caught the genuinely pleased smile softening his expression. Watching the couple reconnect was his win. I see what you're doing, Baxter. I see what you're doing. You know, and it'd be really cool if you focused on your own relationships like that, wouldn't it? We're not petty or anything. Actually, we are. That's the title of this video. Well, since we're already here and it's nearly lunch, how about we grab something to eat? Here? You want to get food at the bowling alley? That went against Scott's whole view of the classy planner. To be fair, it surprised you too, and you knew him better. At least you used to. Yeah, we don't really know him anymore, do we? It has been 5 years. Yes, I don't see why not. That's cool with me.
How bad could it be? Let's do it.
Scott's focus flickered between the siblings, his brow raised in contrast to their easygoing remarks.
Yeah.
Sure, well, we'll eat here. Terry snorted and folded his arms across his chest. He didn't share Scott's qualms at the moment. I'll bite. So, Baxter, I gotta know why you would want to eat at the run-of-the-mill place like this. Immediately, the corner of Scott's mouth curled triumphantly. He soaked in the validation that he wasn't the only one thinking things felt off. Do they secretly have an unquestionably good cook back there? You can tell me. Baxter's nose wrinkled at Terry's interrogation. He combed the tips of his fingers through the swoop of his bangs. I'm not a nobleman. If you weren't aware, I eat food the same as everyone else, and I'm perfectly happy to explore the convenient meal option directly in front of us. Terry nudged his head in Miranda's direction. He didn't take his eyes off of Baxter, though. He's evading the final question. Maybe the food is really something here. I don't know. What do we believe? I mean, I think Baxter's chilled out a lot. When he was in college, he was trying too hard to be like this fancy person. I think he's chilled. You know, he got older. He's calmed down. He's gotten past some of his mistakes. That doesn't mean that I've forgiven him for all of said mistakes. That takes time. But I think he's gotten a little more mature now. 6. You scoffed at the concept of Baxter being unfussy. Yeah, sure. Since chat voted for it, we'll go with that. There was nothing he could say that could convince you. All his idiosyncrasies couldn't be so easily brushed aside. The last time you were here, you distinctly recalling Baxter preferring to eat elsewhere. Yeah, he took you to the fancy country club. He brought you to a nice country club instead. Which, okay, yeah, if I would have waited and read the rest of that sentence, they said that themselves. Even if he had improved in some ways, he was far from down to earth. Despite Baxter's continued insistence that he was the type of person who would definitely eat at a bowling alley, the group remained unconvinced. They squished together and watched with intrigue as he approached the counter and actually put in an order. Baxter selected a veggie burger, which invoked several murmurs of approval from your friends. Out of all the options, that appeared to be the most fitting for a fancy wedding planner. He stepped away from the counter, and your friends quickly fell in line, picking out their own lunches. Jude ordered a chili dog, Scott got a hamburger, Terry picked a slice of cheese pizza, and Miranda asked for the same. Plus a big plate of nachos were ordered for anyone who wanted to split. Before you knew it, it was your turn at the counter. You decided to go with... Ooh, yay! Alright. Hi, welcome. This is, welcome. May I take your order? What would you like to eat? I imagine that Celine, Baxter's Light Fury, going to the bowling alley to watch the human friend playing that. Yeah, that'd be fun. Just kind of sitting next to them, watching them play.
occasionally hitting the bowling ball into the gutter like all the rest of them. Ooh, more nachos. That's a funny one. Let's see. This is such an impactful and necessary choice. Yes, it is! Chicken strips. I saw chicken strips. Go with chicken strips. Oh, yes, we can order a lot. We can order a lot. Slice of pizza. Sure, sure. Slice of pizza. Got it, got it. And hamburger. Okay, hamburger. Got it, got it. Very important. Anyway, get a hot dog. Got it. Hot dog. All very, very super important. Grilled cheese and french fries. Alright, alright. Grilled cheese, french fries. Okay. Alright, seems good. Tater tots. Got it. Those are also very important. Chili dog. We already got the hot dog. I'll put in for the chili dog. Alright, alright. Alright, so all of this is gonna go on your bill, by the way. More nachos. Got it, got it. Alright, I'm adding all of this to your bill. You can pay me through Ko-fi or PayPal. All my mods watching, you can pay me through this. I also take Cash App or Venmo. Onion rings and chili cheese fries. Well, it didn't deter you guys from ordering still. All right. Sounds good. We can skip the veggies. We don't need the veggies. All right, that was it.
Wow.
How are you going to eat all that? Easy. Don't question me. Miranda, Terry, and Scott gawked at you with equal looks of confusion. You shrugged. It was obvious from your perspective, you simply wanted what you wanted. You found a free spot near the alleys to sit down. Terry idly drummed his fingers on the table, but you couldn't even hear the sound. Yeah, that's all. Do you accept being paid in exposure? Come on, look at me. Do you think I accept being paid in exposure? Of course I do. Spread my name. Anyways. It was drowned out by the surrounding clamor. Balls crushing into pins and the shouts of victory and defeat made for an interesting ambience. We've got a good seat here. Jude and Grant are engaged. Me and Randy are dating. Rain and Baxter are, Oh, Terry, you don't want to do that right now. That's a bad idea. You don't want to. That's not, you shouldn't, listen. It's, that was probably not the best thing to, like, bring up at the moment. You see, what we're going through right now is kind of a little, this just got super awkward, but I guess that's the title of the video. Open mouth, insert foot, exactly. Terry halted there. His mouth had been moving faster than his mind. It had not reached its logical conclusion before he'd begun to ramble. Apparently, he'd momentarily forgotten that things were strained between you and Baxter. Awkward X's. Hey, Jude! What do you got there? That's a bad idea in your hand. That thing you're saying there? Bad idea. Bad. Where's the squirt bottle? I need to get the squirt bottle. This is, Terry said the worst thing you could say and you just added to it. You made it worse somehow. I don't know even how you managed to do that. Rain and Baxter are going to become a cautionary Facebook post in 10 years. I know! Bad but very funny. This is like the worst thing you could say! Oh, you heard about that. Baxter, you don't need to add anything.
Yep.
Baxter began fiddling with the paper napkin in front of him. His eyes narrowed and he tried to graciously move past the touch of embarrassment. Well, I can't blame anyone for talking about it. That's fair. However, since everyone is aware of the story, I believe I'll go hide in shame for the next several days. Oh, it might be next several weeks, Baxter. They're not gonna stop talking about it. He gestured flippantly at the pair of couples dropping the napkin. Scott's brows lifted. Are you serious right now? No, Scott, I am not. It's only wishful thinking. Oh. The conversation grew quiet after that.
Terry had managed to score some unintentional retribution after Baxter put his dancing foot in his mouth about Terry's longtime crush on Randy. But the awkwardness was overcome once the food came out. Everyone dug in right away except for Baxter. He took the time to meticulously cut the veggie burger with a plastic knife and ate the bite-sized pieces with a fork. You did what? You did... you do what? You cut it how? I've never seen someone eat a burger like that. Do people eat burgers like that? I've never seen someone eat a burger like that. Like, cutting the burger in half, yes. I've seen. Cutting it into bite-sized pieces? I haven't seen. That action garnered a number of laughs. Baxter paid it no mind and enjoyed his meal. Partway through lunch, Mr. Ward ever so casually took the lead in conversation. Nothing more than table chatter, of course. So, what are we intending to do after we finish eating? Going to the craft store? That is deranged behavior. It's certainly a behavior. Jude grabbed a few tortilla chips and bit into them with a loud crunch. Humming, Baxter rested his chin on the palm of his hand. I've been giving it some thought, and I believe you may not have to. If you know what you want for the centerpieces, I could pick up the supplies and drop them off at your house later today. You could? Absolutely. That's not a problem.
Me too. Right. I'll go with him to help.
Yeah, me three. I can see where this is going. The two of you can go home and relax, and we can do the pesky shopping. The two of you are likely more worn down than you've registered. My suggestion is that you should take as many breaks as you can sneak in before the wedding. Well, he has some good points. I do think that, like, this is pretty cool of him, going like, hey, you guys are pretty worn down, that's why you're snapping at each other. Just take some breaks, we'll go do that. You know, now that you're calm and can think clearly, why don't you guys do that? Like, that is pretty cool of him. As slick as ever. Don't give him too much credit. Right, let's see. You didn't want to crowd their house while they were resting. You'd have to go too. Craft shopping with Terry and Randy would be fun, even if Baxter was there. You could put in the extra effort as well. I can see that we don't have a choice in the matter, and that we're definitely going to have to go. Let me take a drink of water. Okay. Let's see, which of these sounds more desperate? Desperate and awkward. Don't want to crowd the house. The one that makes it sound like you're the least excited about his. Baxter is probably a great wedding planner. Doesn't mean we're not going to make him and Rain into every do not example for couples counseling. Like, oh, exactly. Like, as a wedding planner, great. As, like, someone in a relationship, let's do this DLC literally driving you to drink water. Driving me to drink water. Alright, we could put in the extra effort as well.
I'll come with you. I can help.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Would that be alright?
That would be great, actually, don't you think? Jude folded his arms and surveyed the sight in front of him. His friends, family, and the wedding planner were all watching him optimistically. Finally, he cracked a smile. Yeah, thanks.
Good.
Fantastic. Then there's little else to worry about until we return with your centerpiece material. Hold on. Anything else, Scott? Oh, I'm not sure. What kind of wiggle room do we have left on the schedule? There's certainly space for a few things. Plenty of elements that can be added with minimal effort and will have a big impact on your experience. For example, you could plan to have a first dance or have multiple with a parent, guardian, or other important figure in your life. Rather convenient for the line of work I'm in. I used to ballroom dance competitively. So if either of you need lessons or wish to practice, I can provide that. It wouldn't be an additional charge, of course. My services are all-inclusive. Your attention snapped in his direction. Why did he word that like he was retired? You couldn't imagine a world where Baxter didn't dance anymore. Competitive ballroom dancing? You sure you're a regular dude? Positive. Does that sound like something either of you would be interested in? The couple shared a long, silent stare. Scott bashfully rubbed the back of his neck and returned his attention to the conversation. We need to think about that some more, I think. Good call. I made the lizard. Yeah? Welcome in. Actually, you've been here, haven't you? That's fair. Nope, that's not Jude. Ahem. That's fair. Let me know you've come to a decision. Baxter hummed quietly to himself, musing over his next thought. He lifted his head. At this point, he wasn't bothered to hide the fact that he returned to planner mode. Jude, you mentioned that you'd thrown parties before, correct? Uh-huh. One for my sister's parents, cousins, sometimes. Scott nodded proudly while Jude only shrugged in response. His lips curled bashfully. I've got a big family. But what about for yourself? Who throws parties for themselves? I throw parties for myself. I love planning parties. I love making parties. I throw parties for myself sometimes, because sometimes I just want to hang out with my friends, so I make like little excuses to throw parties. I love theme parties too. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. My dream is to one day throw an Alice in Wonderland theme party because it sounds like it would be a lot of fun and I'd love to do the decorating for that. Anyway, what were we talking about? Weddings? You are, right now, actually. Oh, fine, yeah. Jude scratched, but I stopped being able to speak all of a sudden. Ahem. Jude scratched behind his ear. Reassessing the conversation, Baxter smiled amiably. Perhaps you're viewing this too much as a party for some undefined mass, and the demands of social pressure and such. And Scott, you're seeing it purely as there for the guests to judge, when in reality the wedding is a day solely for you and your husband. He is right. He's completely right on this. That's what I was saying earlier. Is that, yes, make it nice for the guests if you want to, but in the end, don't focus too much about them. It's your wedding. Do stuff because you want it. My next recommendation is that you do nothing more for the wedding unless it is truly going to improve your own memories of the event. You're right.
I'm sorry.
Jude, I'm sorry for making both of us do so much so fast. It sucked. Hey, it wasn't that bad. Jude took Scott's hand and held it between his own. He wore an easy smile and lightly brushed his thumb across his fiancée's skin. If you still want the centerpieces, we should do it. I do. I kind of have a vision for the event. I'm the only not mod here. It happens occasionally. According to my screen, we have some other people in too that are lurking around. So, some lurkers in here. In the shadows, coming to strike at you when you least expect it. I love you lurkers, by the way. I do love all of you. Alright, let's see. Yes. Jude's head fell back, and he let out an affectionate laugh at that admission. You do, huh? Who knew you'd get a kick out of designing venue spaces? Next birthday, you're on deck for decorations. Honestly, that'd be really cool. Jude gave his fiancée a light squeeze and then returned to the main conversation. Scott shifted his attention to Baxter in turn. I'll text you the shopping list. Wonderful. Okay, well, we're out shopping again with Baxter, but this time we have friends. And Scott glanced at Jude and began chewing at the inside of his cheek. He didn't even have to say it. Clearly, he had one more idea. What? I thought of something else recently. Remember that year you rented a limo for your twin sisters and their 18th birthday? Are we renting a limo? Scott, look me in the eyes. Are we renting a limo? Sure. There's a sort of thing where people getting married arrive and leave in fancy cars, so I was thinking, what if we do that for our wedding too? Something like a classic Corvette, maybe? Jude's eyes widened in awe. The suggestion hit the nail on his curly head. That I want to do. Okay, well, that is easier, I think, than the cake, car rentals. Though, like, depending on the car you want to rent in advance, it might be a little hard. But I actually think that's more doable than getting the cake done in 2 days. I'll call around to get it sorted today. Hell yeah. It's my pleasure. The couple beamed at each other. Jude gently cupped the sides of his fiancé's face and Scott leaned into the touch. Thank you for thinking of that. You probably could have thought of it yourself if I hadn't given you 1,000 other things to worry about. I doubt it. I'm a shitty wedding planner. Besides, sounds to me like you're talking about yourself. Oh, don't worry, you two. Both of you are shitty wedding planners. don't like, you don't have to worry about that. Both of you suck at this. Okay, don't you worry. It's not just you, Jude. Both of you suck at this. You waited way too long to hire a wedding planner. If you have to wait until 2 days before the wedding to order a cake, you're not good at this. However, you're both very cute. I hope this works out for you. But hire the wedding planner sooner. Please, I am begging you. Of course, this is your only wedding, hopefully, so... you live, you learn, you order the cake on time for any renewals. Anyways, where were we? Yes. Besides, sound to me like you're talking about yourself. I am? You've been so busy that you haven't even told Baxter about something important. We've still got a schedule for the ceremony. Stunned, Scott searched for a shred of what Jude was talking about. Nothing could be grasped in his panic state. Jude decided to let him off the hook. We want to have a candle lighting ritual. Oh, that's a delightful idea. We already had this candle for it. We've just got to make sure it doesn't get skipped. That was something we wanted for the both of us.
It's true.
Yeah, Jude's right on all accounts. I can't believe I forgot about that. Could you make sure the officiator doesn't forget? Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. And so, you all finally finished the day's intended discussion in a far livelier atmosphere than how it was at the office. Both Jude and Scott had an easier time with the process and vocalizing their thoughts when they were shooting the breeze than when they did under a more professional interview. Baxter's improved party planning skills were impressive. He'd grown leaps and bounds. Even Terry and Miranda were pleased at how this meeting went. Against all odds, Baxter proved with a matter of days that he was someone they could rely on for this wedding. Once the centerpiece details were exchanged, the group split into teams. Jude and Scott set off for home, and the remaining 4 of you hit the road to the craft store. Although, technically, you all could have squeezed into Terry's van, Baxter unlocked his car with a beep. After confirming the location you were going to, he followed behind in his own vehicle. Once you arrived, you waited near the front of the craft store. Baxter must have gotten stuck at a light, since it took another few minutes for him to show up. He gave a jaunty wave and speed walked over. Hello, everyone. I see we've gotten here safely. Pleasantries were had, and the gang pressed onwards. Miranda broke away from the group with a clear mission in mind. Okay. All right. So it's been 3 hours now. As I mentioned, I'm going to start closing these streams once you get to the 3-4 hour mark, and I think this is a pretty good area to leave off on. I think, and granted I say think, I think that this'll only be 3 parts.
I can't really, I don't know what else they could squeeze into this to make it much, you know, after this, I'm pretty sure we just have like a day left before the wedding. So I don't think it can stretch on much after this. I mean, knock on wood, I suppose. But it's been 3 hours. I need to save my voice. So I'm going to say that this will be the end of the episode. Don't leave. Well, you're in luck because I have a few announcements, so I'm not leaving quite yet. LMAO, you think this won't drag on for 4 more streams? We're not dragging this on for 4 more streams. There's no way. There's no way. But I can see this becoming at least 2 more streams. I would not put it past this game to do that. But we are almost done with this DLC, and then we just have the wedding DLC, and that'll be it. So we don't have much more of this. I have already thought about what visual novel we'll be doing after this one. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I have a lot of visual novels I just bought that I want to play, so you guys are going to be bombarded within the next few weeks. I guess I shouldn't say next few weeks. These visual novels take a long time to finish. But you guys are going to be bombarded. I have a list to go through. Anyways. I'll drag you to my basement if you leave. Oh, I'm being kidnapped? I like this scenario, actually. I want friends is the thing. Haha, you fell for my trap card. I want you to find me. I want friendship. Alright. So, I do have a few announcements. To make. As I said earlier at the start of this stream, we made it to 300 subs. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. It's really, really cool that we did. I am going to be doing a special. However, I am going to enlist you guys as help for that special. So what I am going to be doing is tonight or tomorrow, a poll will appear on the community page. I will have you guys vote on what kind of stream you want. If you have suggestions as well, I will take them. You will write in the comment on that community page when I make it. And if it gets enough support, I will add it to the poll as well. I am also working on 2 major things. If you think that this week is a little bare bones on what we're doing, the reason why is because I'm trying to get a few things done by next week so we can have them up for the 300 sub special. So there's 2 major things I'm working on that I'm really hoping to get done by then. Hopefully we will have it all. I'm looking forward. I think the future is going to be really cool on this channel, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. That being said, in May, I will be leaving for 1 week. There will be 1 week in May where I will not be streaming at all. I'm preparing that for you guys ahead of time. I will try to have a video done, so I will leave you guys with something, and it won't just be like nothing for that week. But you have been warned in advance. There will be a full week that I will not be streaming. I'm not graduating! But there will be a full week I will not be streaming. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that you guys watch these silly little visual novel streams with me. I love visual novels. I love playing them, so it's really fun for me, and I hope you guys have fun too. And with that being said, I am going to go ahead and end the stream. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it if you did, but I'll appreciate you guys anyways for being here. As always, love you lots, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, fish cakes.